The year is 2021, and we are taking our first step to crowning the newest entry, the newest champion of the SWC, the Summoner's War World Championship. And it starts with the America's Cup preliminaries. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel Digon Gonzalez, and I'm so happy to be back this year to host SWC 2021. We've got a bunch of competitors, a bunch of players, a bunch of summoners that think they can climb the mountain and etch their name into the echelons of history. But I can't do it alone. I'll be covering all the action with my fellow casters. It's Stoic and Once in Love. Everyone in the chat, make sure you guys are getting hyped for our two casters. Stoic, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. It is amazing to be back with another SWC, especially alongside this fellow here.
Yeah, Once in Love, welcome. It's your first time on the SWC stage as a caster. How do you feel, man?
I feel amazing. I'm just absolutely honored to be here, and I really look forward to seeing what we get from these competitors this year.
Yeah, brother. Well, I cannot wait to deep dive into your breakdowns of all the action. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I'm super excited because, again, we're not doing it alone. It is indeed a global championship that we have. And at SWC 2021, we're going to have multiple friends across multiple different countries because it is a global event indeed. And so we have ourselves our casters in other languages. We have Kachu and former participant in SWC, Zerpolita, covering the Spanish broadcast here. And we also have Managua and Mr. Sloth covering us as well in Portuguese, if we could get a chance to say hello to them. And you guys can also cover the action and watch the action in that language because, again, SWC, it's a world event. It's a global event. And y'all, again, will have a fantastic and fun time throughout this whole journey. And we wanted to make sure that we reiterate we're all connected together. So, again, y'all, you can make sure to check out those broadcasts or keep it here just with us here at SWC 2021. All right. I hope you all are super excited because I am very excited to find out what is next and going to be coming up here in SWC 2021. But before we get there, we have to see the overview on what we'll be breaking down in this year's action as we take a look at how we got here this year by looking at last year's broadcast. Let's take a look at how 2021 shaped up for 2020 shaped up for SWC. All right, so you saw all the action there last year. Mr. Chung taking it home from the APAC region, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of different drafts coming out, and we expect more this year in this year's tournament. As we take a look at SWC 2021's overview on how things are going to shake out, and it starts with the America's Cup preliminary, which is what you're watching today. We have ourselves the preliminaries of day 1 and day 2 today and tomorrow, where 4 players will book their ticket to the America's Cup proper. If a player loses, it's a double elimination bracket. Don't worry, they'll still have their opportunity to bounce back next Saturday, July 31st. So double elimination. So for you at home, to keep it simple, you win 2, you're into America's Cup. You lose 1, your day ends that day, but you still get 1 more shot at redemption next Saturday. So once we get all that in, we'll have 8 competitors to play for the 2 spots to represent the Americas region, as we always do. So that'll be a lot of fun as we take a look at the prize pool for the America's Cup. It's $10,000 for first place for those that are lucky enough to make it on in. Second place gets $5,000, and third place gets $2,500 US. And again, it's the opportunity to take the next step into the World Championship. And we've got ourselves one hell of a group of players to do that will be vying for the Summoners Cup as we take a look at the trophy that all of them will be participating for. No, we're going to go with the players first. Let's take a look at that. So we've got our 16 competitors as we're going to rifle through them all here. You can see a couple of them right there, DanielKarioKa and TrueWhale, FAINTMEMORY, fan favorite. Couple of players wearing the jerseys from last year. Dreams Joseph there, Thompson, J-Mac, the cup winner from last year. We've got multiple cup winners, all 3 cup winners from the last 3 years. It's going to be a hell of a tournament in this preliminary cup because we've got a stacked field. 8 new members, 8 returning members, 3 former champions. It's going to be one heck of a run. And again, we take a look at the trophy that everyone will be playing for as we take a look at the World Championship trophy. Here it is. You love this set that we have here. The full brand new SWC 2021 set. There it is. The cup that everyone will be playing for. The grand prize. Mr. Chung took it home last year. We'll see who else will be able to join him in it. All right. That was a lot of setup to see who will be playing today. Let's take a look at it. The bracket of competitors. Here it is. Day number 1. Their journey starts right now. It's TrueWhale against DanielKarioKa. Then we have Shizzy against Duhstin. Zefarious against BigV. And then we close out the day 1 opening matches with FAINTMEMORY versus Jsss. Those are going to be some massive, massive games. And this is where I toss it to our experts over here. Stoic, once in love. This is one of the most stacked fields we've seen in a while. Stoic, which matches from today's games stick out to you?
I mean, we're kicking it off, and we're going to be really, really strong with this first one. It's TrueWhale and DanielKarioKa. I mean, he goes by the name TrueWhale, and he stays true to that name. He has lots and lots of special toys we may see tonight. But we also have DanielKarioKa with the weight of Brazil behind him. We want to see DanielKarioKa do his absolute best for his country, but he's got a big whale to climb today.
Oh, geez. All right. Bad puns already, Mr. Tyler. I hope you're ready. Once in love. Which match sticks out for you?
For me, it's got to be FAINTMEMORY and Jsss. I usually attest to saying that FAINTMEMORY is probably one of the most, if not the most brilliant mind in Summoners War. I think him and Diligent are 2 of the top players. And, you know, Jsss is an old guildmate of mine, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the 2 of them go at it.
Yeah, that'll be at the end of our qualifier matches, so we'll take a peek at that after we get through our first 3. And, you know, we've got ourselves one heck of a first one to kick things off here. At the top, it's TrueWhale and DanielKarioKa, and this is what seems to be, I think if you look from the outside looking in, a David and Goliath kind of matchup. TrueWhale, just a true competitor in the space, and really cranked it up when we take a look at his stats for the year so far. In the last couple of seasons, ranked 4 back-to-back, last season's Legend tournament champion. And you look at the monster pool, Stoic, this has to be one of the favorites of the tournament.
I mean, it's tough to argue against that. We have last season's legendary tournament winner, TrueWhale, here, and we know from to have great room quality. We know he has all of those special LD units out there, but he's got a great way he was drafting. He did really well in the legendary tournament. I'm expecting him to do very well here.
That's right. We see the water reuse / more coming up. That has been more and more popular. Once in love, what are your thoughts here on TrueWhale?
TrueWhale has been a competitor in the Legend tournament for many seasons in a row, actually, and consistently plays well and actually performs better in the best of 3, best of 5 series. So I think SWC is a very good format for him, as well as a very good playing ground.
Yeah. When it comes to, again, the stats, it's been dominant. The highest rated player in both, you know, if you aggregate both 16 and 17 together in the Americas region. TrueWhale, again, leading the way here. But he's up against not a young upstart, not brand new, but DanielKarioKa, who in his own right, has started ranking up a little bit more as we cranked up towards SWC 2021. 117 in Season 16, the 91 in Season 17 Brazil. And One to Love, I'm tossing to you first. DanielKarioKa is someone that you know pretty well.
Yeah, so actually a couple of years ago, DanielKarioKa approached me to actually learn how to start playing RTA. And so it's absolutely incredible to see him, you know, surpass like anywhere that I've gotten to and actually make it to the America's Cup. So I'm definitely excited to see this match.
Yeah, the Sierra, the Ganny. What stands out from his toolbox, we could say here, Stoic?
I'd have to say what stands out from the units that he's using is the spirit that he has behind those as well. DanielKarioKa has an amazing character. If you've tuned into his streams, you know how great of a person he is, and he loves this game. He's in here for the tournament, but he's also in here to have fun and just the camaraderie of being out here in SWC among all these amazing players.
Yeah, well, DanielKarioKa representing with the Canary jersey of Brazil. Again, a lot of support behind DanielKarioKa in his journey forward. TrueWhale and DanielKarioKa. One of these players will be taking the next step as they get closer to the America's Cup and, more importantly, SWC 2021. Who is it? Let's find out. Stoic, Once in Love. We're kicking off SWC 2021 with the first match of the year in the America's Cup preliminaries. Guys, take it away.
Well, here we go, guys. We're getting into our very first match with TrueWhale and DanielKarioKa. I'm prepared for a really exciting kickstart to this year's 2021 America's Cup. Here we go, guys. Getting into the draft, we have our pre-bans going out. DanielKarioKa versus TrueWhale.
We got Daniel here leading with the first pick. So the ban actually could be something possibly maybe even like an early Joe Gun ban. We see a lot of that Sierra first pick for him, so not quite sure what TrueWhale wants to ban on. Has a lot of options, knows Daniel's pool, knows the LDs in there. He's got the Yin Hong, he's got the Hertit. And there it is. There's the Lulu right away, immediately gone, and Pontos taking away that really strong Ganny Pontos combo. So what do you think he's going to take here first? You think it's going to be that Sierra?
They've definitely taken a speed lead here. I think is going to be ideal. I think DanielKarioKa may need to dig into his box if he can, but it looks like he's going to be taking that CR for a first pick. DanielKarioKa very quick to respond with an Okeanos and one other draft.
I think we're probably going to see the Ganny here. I think Oki Ganny's still really strong in this combination. Could also just pick up the early Ragdoll. Gives him a very flexible draft. Not too worried about what he wants to take early on. But, you know, he's got that 30 seconds. Might as well play it out the whole time, right? There it is. He locks in the Oki Ganny, the classic combination to start.
A very classic combination. Very strong pair together, having those double resets there with the Oki and the Ganny. DanielKarioKa locking in a unit that we are very familiar with, the Connell, and we're seeing a Chung Pong with it as well.
The response here, TrueWhale needs that stripper, so takes the Joe Gun. Has options for other strippers here. Chiwu's looking pretty good. He's got the 2-wind on the other side and the speed lead opportunity. But will we see a Hay Gang possibly? Something to deny on either side. Both could really take that.
I think we could very well see the Hay Gang. Definitely curious what he's going to be wrapping up his draft here. And we're seeing Kinky coming out, the light Onimusha.
Interesting to see that Kinky drop that early. You know, usually we would see the Ragdoll there, but Kinky does fare pretty effectively in here. It's pretty good against the Carnal unless you're on Despair, which you can control it, but Daniel wants to respond, thinking about a beta, possibly going for that immunity setup here, but needs to be careful. That last pick for TrueWhale is a very flexible opportunity and cannot give him any free reign for that.
Well, DanielKarioKa locking in a little bit of sustain with the beta, and we're seeing the Mo Long, a great combination with that Connell as well. TrueWhale probably going to be taking his time here with this last pick.
Yeah, not quite sure what this last pick could be, actually. There's a lot of opportunity for things like Diana. Could even go for a secondary stripper here. That Mo Long pick is really good, though. It has a lot of pressure with the artifact changes, enabling just a stronger nuke. Oh, and there it is. There's the second stripper. He picks the Volantis, wants the counter on the first turn, and really, really plays for that strong second turn team.
Volantis, a very exciting unit we're going to see here, but bans are out. Beta is getting banned out. Joe Gun is getting banned out on the side of TrueWhale. All right.
In the draft here, I'm still leaning towards TrueWhale's side. I think the Volantis combo with the Kinky and then the Ganymede is really strong into what DanielKarioKa has. He needs a really strong first turn that doesn't get cut by this Volantis to have a strong effect.
Well, here we go, guys. We got DanielKarioKa taking first turn here. Chung Pong looking for the full strip, not receiving it. I'm seeing a Spear of Devastation coming out on top of the Connell. These guys are very quick to play already. He must have missed the reset. We see the Seal of Magic coming out. Bomb misses on Okeanos. Where's the accuracy today?
This is a little bit tragic here. We need this Sierra into Molong combo to really snipe a unit on the first turn. Oh, but there it is. The extra turn with the additional damage on Sierra will be able to optionally take out that Ganymede on the first turn if he wants to.
Is he going to go for the Reckless Assault onto the Ganymede? We're going to find out. And he does. He confirms the kill on to that Ganymede. Very strong glancing coming out on the team of DanielKarioKa. Definitely going to be keeping back a lot of his units here. Looks like another missed bomb going out on top of Okeanos.
That full glancing, though, denies a lot of that rotation. Big stun here. It's good damage. Good damage out from that additional on the Okeanos skill 3. I think TrueWhale is actually holding a pretty good advantage here. Although the Ganymede is gone, the Kinky is really hard to deal with a stunned Sierra and honestly a low HP Molong.
Interesting set of skills that I'm seeing here, but we've got a Molong looking for a Death Break on top of this Volantis. Does receive that Death Break. Onimusha getting a Death Break with the Dispersion on top of that Ciara. Okeanos trying to finish off that Ciara. Not enough damage here. We're going to see the, I believe, second skill from Volantis dropping the Ciara here. I think it favors TrueWhale just a little bit.
He doesn't really have the damage output to deal with this Kinky. Molong Snipe is already gone. There's glancing on the Carnal, has no stun opportunity, and all the cooldowns have been reset.
Yep, looking for the provoke on top of Okeanos, not receiving that provoke there. Skill 2 comes out with Molong, only has that stun laying on top of that Volantis. Okeanos with the skill 2, looking for a reset on top of the Connell, and does receive that reset. Big second skill comes out, drops a Molong, and there you have it! TrueWhale taking round 1 away from DanielKarioKa.
Yeah, it's a rough match there. That Kinky actually had a lot of pressure and a lot of strength. Daniel didn't really have the damage output to deal with it, alongside also missing the bomb with the Sierra. He really needed the pressure early on to either kill the Kinky or to take out that Okeanos and deny the Ganymede. The biggest problem with that whole kind of setup is that you're banking on hitting everything on the first turn, and that's just not a reliable that's not a reliable strategy going into the first match.
Well, let's see if we're going to see a different draft coming out of DanielKarioKa. How is he going to be rebounding going into round 2 against TrueWhale? Pre-bans from last time, Pontos and the Lulu.
The Ragdoll pre-ban, the Juno pre-ban, TrueWhale has pretty much any opportunity to take whatever he wants in this first turn. Could actually pick the Cardinal away from DanielKarioKa, could also pick the Lulu.
There's a very interesting pre-ban on top of that Juno, but here we go, guys. TrueWhale first pick. We're going to see the Okeanos coming out for TrueWhale. DanielKarioKa looking to counter.
I think the Juno pre-ban there signifies a very hard want to take Pontos. So I think in the second round for TrueWhale, we could see the Pontos and the Ganymede. Juno being one of the stronger units against it since it's harder to CC her and she has the strip opportunity. But one more thing to note with the last draft there is that Kinky is actually on Vampire, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for Daniel to deal with it if he runs another low damage comp.
Well, let's see if we see that Kinky again. We've got CR Molong coming up for DanielKarioKa. We've seen it before. We'll see it again here. There is that Ganymede coming out again for TrueWhale alongside the Jogun.
Daniel has the option to take the Lulu here, but I'm not quite sure how much pressure it actually gives. He really needs to find a lot of damage in his draft. He's a little bit afraid of that Kinky, but there it is. There's locking in the Yanhong and Barbara.
Yanhong and Barbara coming up for DanielKarioKa. TrueWhale showing that he does want to bring that Pontos, and we're seeing a Tian Lang with it as well.
Tian Lang is a solid combination here. Going to be pretty difficult for Daniel to deal with it. There's 3 units that utilize that attack bar gain, but also leaving up the speed lead Pontos is pretty scary into a draft like this. If he has a Will, Water Ryu, or a Moore, this could be an opportunity to pick it there, but otherwise, not a lot of really solid last picks that's going to lean TrueWhale away from banning possibly just the Sierra.
DanielKarioKa definitely taking his time with this last pick, and it is going to be a Changpeng. Changpeng wrapping up DanielKarioKa's draft as he decides to lock it in, and he does. Bans are going to be coming out shortly.
We might see the Yinhong ban here instead, actually, or the Molong. Could just take away the damage or the rotation. I think the Pontus is going through, but the Tianlang most likely is getting banned. If it's not the Tianlang ban, then he's going to ban the speed lead and try to take turn 1.
Let's see if they confirm that here. There is it. The bans are out. CR is getting banned. Okeanos is going to be getting banned here.
So TrueWhale wants the first turn, wants to be able to contend it. I'm a little bit worried on DanielKarioKa's side there with the Tianlang being up, but you know, some of these units are really hit or miss. Even if they have that really strong passive and opportunity, you might just miss.
Well, here we go, guys. Round 2. TrueWhale, DanielKarioKa. TrueWhale with the first turn. He has that scroll. Goes for the strip, though. Choosing not to put that Barbara away.
Yeah, it doesn't need to put her away right away. Wants to push the attack bar back with the Ganymede skill 3 here. Who does he go for the reset on?
Goes for that reset onto the Changpeng, but does not get the attack bar reduction on Yanhong or that Changpeng.
Missing a second silence there. This Yanhong is actually getting a pretty good value out of that resistance lead.
Definitely big resist there. Barbara not taking on that silence as well. We have the stun sitting on top of that Molong. A little bit of attack bar reduction onto that Pontos. Charge Vitality going out onto Barbara. Barbara looking for the death break. No additional turns coming out here. And Tianlang cutting in here.
Goes for the Yanhong, tries to get the Despair Stun, but doesn't quite land. And oh, just barely misses the lethal there on the Jogun. Not quite enough to kill him, and here comes the protection from Pontos.
There is the protection with the 1% Jogun stays alive. He does have that scroll he could be putting out right here. Yanhong being defense broken right now, not having any skills up at the moment, looking for a little bit of attack bar pushback onto the Barbara, not receiving it. And DanielKarioKa just doing what he can with this invincibility up.
What a tragic resistance. The Barbara does not strip the Jogun, so the Jogun does manage to live another turn. Ganymede doesn't quite have that ventilate yet, though, so we will see the Jogun possibly going down here in between turns, but that extra turn does bring his cooldowns back.
That's right. Ganny's got all cooldowns up, ready, primed, and we have Barbara gets put away into the scroll with a little bit more attack bar pushback on top of Yanhong. Pontos looking to put down that Yanhong. Not yet, though.
Chooses the defense break the Molong, knows he's able to take down that Yanhong, doesn't worry too much about it. Wants the defense break for the big damage on the Ganny skill 3, that high multiplier skill there.
Ganny did get that reset, gets the attack bar reduction on top of everybody. Jogun doing exactly what he does, trying to get attack buff on his team. Pontus with just enough damage with that attack buff, drops the Yanhong with the additional turn coming out, gets the silence on both units. Barbara's going to be back, but Tianlang may be here to shut that down. Choosing to go for the Changpeng instead, though.
Ganny moving just in front of that Barbara. Not much value here. Molong is about to go down, and it's going to be a 4v1. DanielKarioKa is not looking like he's in a great place here.
DanielKarioKa definitely not in a great place here. I think TrueWhale had full control in this match here, really not giving DanielKarioKa much room to breathe. You can see Tianlang being very, very oppressive. Great second skills with stuns, providing lots of defense breaks, and just DanielKarioKa, he just couldn't come back from this one. And there you have it. Round 2 going to TrueWhale, and he's going to be moving forward today.
There it is. TrueWhale taking the victory as expected. Was going a little bit slower in that game number 2 just to make sure he dotted his I's, crossed his T's, but took care of business as expected. DanielKarioKa had a strategy moving forward in game 1, trying to find ways to play a little bit slower. And, you know, what makes this win more impressive, it was without the Ragdoll Stoic. I know that's one of your favorites here, man. And, you know, TrueWhale saying, I don't even need that one, brother.
I mean, that's exactly what came out there, was TrueWhale just showing that maybe he didn't need the Ragdoll. He had an excellent draft, he had excellent control. You know, I do feel bad for DanielKarioKa. I wanted to see him do really well here, but as I was saying, he has a rather large whale to climb, and TrueWhale definitely was a little too big for him here.
Ones in love, break down what you saw and what you know, the tactics that DanielKarioKa took and possibly could have taken, or was this just something where TrueWhale was on his game today?
I think it's a bit of both. TrueWhale is definitely on his game. That pre-ban Juno, you knew the Pontos was coming through, had the Tiangling ready for the Barbara and the Yinhong. I think really TrueWhale had every answer ready for DanielKarioKa, but I feel like in that first match, Daniel he was a little bit shaky on whether or not he wanted to take out that Kinky or not as a ban, and I think that banning that Kinky honestly might have been a better opportunity for him. It's a really hard unit to deal with, and without having that Molong to really snipe it on the first turn, you're going to struggle a lot, especially trying to rely on CR bombs.
Yeah, well, let's see it one more time here as we take a look at the replay. And again, Stoic, this just happened, again, in a controlled fashion here for TrueWhale in that last match. Because, again, I think DanielKarioKa came out with the strategy in that first game. It was like, hey, we're going to go light on damage and see if we can sustain through, but wasn't quite the case there as TrueWhale pulled through in that last match. Should have the highlight coming up in just a second. But Stoic, again, break it down one more time for us.
This was just ultimate control with TrueWhale here. That Kinky provided plenty of damage, and it was a very dangerous unit for DanielKarioKa to deal with, not having enough damage to deal with it. We had here Changpeng outspeeding his team, and he got the control over DanielKarioKa. And beautiful violent procs coming out of Ganymede. Ganymede can be so oppressive when he is violent procking with that third skill, reducing attack bar, reventilating back onto his team. He's just such a fantastic support, and we're going to be seeing a lot of this unit during SWC.
Yeah, definitely will. And in that game, too, was the resist lead against the speed lead. And, you know, DanielKarioKa put his best foot forward. Wasn't enough today, but his journey is not over. Don't worry, Brazilian fans. We have another match for him to play, but it will be next week as TrueWhale moves forward in our preliminary tournament. He'll be facing the next between these two guys coming up in our preliminary tournament. It's Shizzy against Duhstin. So we've got two players here that are that have torn it up in different ways. Specifically, Shizzy, Stoic. We know about this young man here. He's climbed to the heights before in tournaments that have been hosted in Summoner's War. He was your season 15 legend champion, but since then has kept it up here, 17th, and I believe that is 18th or 16th, somewhere around there, in the teens, and has been like pretty good. Stoic, what are your thoughts on our competitor here, Shizzy?
Shizzy's a consistent player. Like you said, season 15, legend finish. We've got a rank 17 season 16 and season 17, a rank 16. Confusing me there with those numbers. We're going back and forth. Shizzy is a very consistent player. You can see he runs that control comp, but he's also capable of bringing high damage like Han. And we've seen Han used many times before, and I'm expecting to see it coming back again.
Once in love, quick thoughts on Shizzy.
Shizzy very effectively drafts around what he has in terms of the light and dark Nat 5s. He's able to find ways to lock in both the Gianna and the Hagang, being the strongest counter to it immediately, which honestly, for the most part, provides him a very heavy advantage against people who aren't really prepared to fight the Hagang.
All right, well, we'll see if Duhstin is ready, because Duhstin is indeed his opponent in our next match here. Duhstin, got to chat with him a little bit yesterday, lawyer, and was saying, yeah, just kind of got sucked in the game, took a break, came back, and now he finds himself taking the step in the competitive scene in the America's Cup preliminaries. Once in love, what do you see out of Duhstin?
So Duhstin, even though you see a lower rank on this season 17 finish there, Duhstin actually is also a fairly consistent player. Has always played in the high G2s, G3s, top 300 range. Very consistent Yinhong user, even through her nerf and everything, has found multiple ways to use her effectively, both on first turn and on second turn. I think Duhstin has a lot of opportunity to really change things up in the middle of a match, in the middle of a draft.
Stoic, thoughts on keys to success for Duhstin if he wants to move on past Shizzy?
I'm a big fan of Duhstin. Duhstin really enjoys this game. I see Duhstin across Twitch chat all the time. I'm expecting this guy to come in here and honestly just have a lot of fun. I think he is a very consistent player. He's got great win rates for that season 16 here, and we're going to be seeing, I think, some good consistent play out of Duhstin.
All right, well, you can see Sierra in that lineup. We'll see who else he pulls out in our next match. One of these two players will be making their next step closer to the America's Cup in SWC 2021. Who will it be? Let's find out together. Shizzy, Duhstin in the opening match of the preliminaries happens right now. Stoic, Ones in Love, y'all take it away.
Here we go, guys. We have our second match here. Shizzy and Duhstin, Season 15's legendary champion here. Shizzy, it's going to be a tough one. Definitely going to be an exciting match here with Duhstin, but can he pull it off? We're about to find out as we get into this draft. Pre-bans are already locked in. We see the Yanhan getting pre-banned from Shizzy and the Gianna getting pre-banned by Duhstin. Shizzy with the first pick, taking that CR speed lead. Duhstin very quick to lock in Lulu and Okeanos.
One of the strongest meta counters, taking either the Carnal first and then taking Sierra Lulu in return, or vice versa. In this situation, we see the Okeanos instead of the Carnal, but either way, still very effective, very flexible.
Shizzy's going to be drafting that Hagang and the Connell as well. These are all very season irrelevant units we've seen before. Duhstin looking to respond with a Diana and a Molly.
Interesting. Not sure how I feel about the Diana that early. It's a lot of opportunity for Shizzy to pick different things. He's got 3 elements right now, so yeah, Antares is definitely a possibility here. Or even just a lot of, like, a Wind Monkey King works really well in situations like this.
I couldn't agree more. I do like to see that Diana in that 5th spot, but we'll see what Shizzy drafts here, and it looks like it's going to be a Chung Pung, and we are going to be seeing that Han coming out for Shizzy.
Chung Pung is really safe here, really solid. A little bit afraid of it into Molly Lulu, but we are most likely going to see the Molly ban here. You pick the Han, you really want that 100 crit opportunity. Don't really like the Juno pick into this, to be perfectly honest. I think there's a lot of control against it. But I guess when you have your last pick, you can kind of just pick whatever you want, knowing that that Molly's most likely getting banned.
Well, let's see what those bans are going to be confirmed here. Will the Molly get banned out on the side of Duhstin? Let's see what Shizzy does here. And it is Molly's going to be banned out on the side of Duhstin, and the Han is going to be banned out on the side of Shizzy.
Yeah, definitely saw the Han ban coming there. If the Molly goes, then the Han is the only thing that really stops the Juno immediately. It needs to have that early deny gone.
Well, here we go, guys. Getting into round 1 with Shizzy and Duhstin. Hagang looking for a full team strip. Does not receive that strip on top of Lulu. Diana getting pushed forward. Shields are going to be coming up.
A nice extra turn right away. Just gives her the turn back for her next opportunity. She can transform right away if she wants to.
Yep, Chung Pung looking for the 3rd skill, trying to get that reset on top of the Juno and the Diana, pushing back those attack bars. Of course, we're going to see a 2nd skill looking to possibly remove that shield from the Diana. Not doing so. Bomb is going to be coming out. Definitely going to be placed, I want to say, on top of that Diana. Choosing not to use the bomb. Does break the shield with 1st skill and rotates.
I think not placing the bomb is a mistake here. You want to place the bomb so that when Lulu uses the skill 3, if Lulu chooses to use the skill 3, cleanses it and does not give immunity.
Connell is going to be using that 3rd skill, and I couldn't agree more. If it already had used that cleanse, it'd be no immunity up. Perfect timing for Connell to come in here. But we've got Ciara looking to possibly place that bomb here. We have a stunned up Juno, but he goes for the Okeanos and misses the bomb.
Seems like all the Ciaras today are not really doing it. They've been missing a lot of bombs when we really need them to hit everything.
Well, Chung Pung landing that full team strip with the additional turn. Push back to the attack bar of that Diana.
Yeah, very slow, calculated play here from Shizzy, taking his time, trying to make sure he can control every unit. Goes for that provoke onto the Lulu, but doesn't quite land it, so the cleanse comes up. And Okeanos will have his skill 3.
Yep, looking for a rain of stone to stun everybody up here. Not receiving that stun on top of Hagang, though. Hagang looking to push back somebody's attack bar, not having any skills up here.
Oh, but this Chung Pung is wild. Every single turn takes another one, and he just keeps going and going and going.
Oh, Chung Pung not willing to stop, just keeps on violent procking here. Connell's right there with them, looking at a big 2nd skill, possibly going back onto that Diana. Diana does receive the damage, still standing tall, though.
We're in a little bit of a dangerous position here for Duhstin. That Diana's a little bit low on HP, even with the reset landing on the Chung Pung. We're a little bit afraid because the Sierra Bomb actually could pop him from this point.
Oh, well, we're seeing something we haven't seen before. Bomb finally lands on top of Diana, eliminating this unit from the field.
Diana goes down, and from this position, it's actually not looking super great for Duhstin. However, that Juno Lulu combo can do very effective into this. As long as he has the immunity to control that Karnal, he does have the potential to really take out the Sierra quickly and then have the 2v3 to finish.
Yeah, Duhstin really needs to drop a unit here so he can get a little bit of breathing room. Is Shizzy going to be using that second skill to strip that immunity off Lulu? Does not receive it. Despair stun comes out onto the Juno. Kano looking at that third skill, choosing to use a third skill to retrieve the stun on the Okeanos. Does not receive it. Juno has a lot of debuffs here. It's going to be healing off of.
Shizzy needs to be pushing the attack bar back of this Juno as much as possible. Doesn't quite have the bomb yet on the Sierra, and if Sierra takes one despair stun from that Juno, then it's going to be over. The rotations are coming out really quickly. She is struggling. She's very low HP. She's going to die in 2 hits here.
Yeah, CR is looking very low right now. Connell with that big second skill, he might be focusing onto that Okeanos. Let's see what he's going to be targeting here. Ooh.
Goes for the attack bar pushback, gets it, but then the revenge comes in, so Juno does get all of her attack bar back at 45% attack bar from crits on skill 1.
Yep, there's the big skill 2 coming out of Chung Peng here, landing that glancing on top of the Lulu. Bomb is going to be coming out. He cannot detonate this.
Let's see, gets a violent proc, but no violent proc. Does move before the Lulu, but not before the Okeanos. Okeanos has the opportunity to transfer that bomb back. And does not transfer the bomb.
And he does not transfer the bomb. He landed the provoke exactly what he needed to, but bomb did not transfer back over. A little bit of attack bar pushback onto this Lulu. Ciara looking to detonate the bomb. Does this remove Okeanos from the field? And it does so. Additional turn coming out of Ciara. Another bomb getting placed on top of Lulu. And here we go. Chung Peng with a third skill, pushing back all the attack bars. And it's definitely not looking good for Duhstin.
That's what it was. That Chung Peng resetting both units, pushing the attack bar. The Juno no counter up. Sierra, if she gets the bomb here, it could be it. The bomb could blow up and take it down. The attack bar pushback. Sierra's going to get a turn.
Yeah, Duhstin really thinking about how to draft a little bit better going into the second match here. There's Ciara finishing it off, and Shizzy taking round 1 away from Duhstin.
Definitely a little tough here for Duhstin. Going into a match, taking second turn against somebody who has the Sierra, has the Hagen, has the Karnal. You got a slow debuff, you have a speed lead. There's just a lot of control that you really can't play around. You know, the Molly and the Lulu pick together were fairly effective, but I think he really needed to get more mileage out of that Diana before she went down.
Well, Duhstin's going to have an opportunity to be drafting this Yan Han going into round 2 against Shizzy. I would imagine we're going to be seeing this coming out for Duhstin, but let's see what Shizzy has in store for him. Pre-bans coming out here.
Shizzy with the great deny there, taking away the Ciara. Knows that Duhstin has first pick, knows that he can take his Gianna, so doesn't want Duhstin to take away the Sierra, doesn't want that combo to come through either way.
Yep, 2 speed leads getting banned out here. Okeanos is going to be the first unit. Duhstin's going to be taken away from Shizzy. Shizzy looking to counter after seeing this.
Interested to see if Shizzy locks in that Hagang right away with his Gianna. Has an opportunity to do so, but also doesn't necessarily need to right away. Could do it in the second round. Could lean towards that Chung Peng Karnal or Karnal Lulu right now.
Karnal Lulu is exactly what's coming out for Shizzy. Very strong units. And there you have it. Yan Hong and Mo Long coming out for Duhstin.
Molong and Hong, pretty safe combination here. Not a lot of super strong speed leads for either side available, so Duhstin possibly leading for maybe more of a single target snipe comp opportunity here. The Diana is possible depending on what Shizzy takes here.
Well, it looks like Shizzy's going to be going with the Ganymede and one other unit. It is going to be the Chung Peng. I'm expecting to see a speed lead coming out of Duhstin here.
Duhstin doesn't quite need to take any AoE strips here. He has a lot of really good potential. The Molong AoE strip is kind of there, but more or less has the opportunity for double single target strips with a big nuke. I don't quite know if I like the Molly into this. I think Molly is on the weaker side into Karnal and Chung Peng, but we do see the combination of the Fire Ryu there, also known as Douglas, to kind of counter that double fire, or the double wind, excuse me, and the Karnal comp. Actually quite a strong draft here. No matter what Shizzy picks last, has the opportunity to ban it, and then gets the Molly in with the Molong and Hong for healing. This draft is actually looking very, very much in Duhstin's favor.
Well, Shizzy's going to be wrapping his draft up with a Gianna, a very strong unit. But is that going to be enough, not having anything, well, any true buffs that are on the side of Duhstin's team? I'm not too sure if I even like the Gianna here.
I kind of agree with that. I think the Gianna might be a little bit of a panic pick. More or less the, it wasn't pre-banned, so maybe I should take it because it's strong. We know that Duhstin in this case is most likely banning the last pick, but I'm interested to see why Shizzy banned the Yunhong. Maybe the extra turns and the strong healing, but I don't know if he actually has a way to effectively deal with this Douglas, this Fire Ryu.
Well, let's see if he can find his way to deal with it. Getting into round 2 with Shizzy and Duhstin. Is it going to be enough?
Also to note, Duhstin took the attack lead for his Fire Ryu to kind of mitigate as much as he could get and get the value out of that glancing debuff.
Well, Okeanos looking for that skill to reset on top of Chungpong, and it does land true. We just have a first skill coming out of Chungpong here, looking to push back a little bit of attack bar.
Chungpong not getting a lot of mileage, but we do know that the Molly is on Nemesis. Interested to see what the Fire Ryu is on. I see no set there, so it could be Nemesis, could be something else. Could actually be Revenge. Some people have run that in the past as well.
Ganny getting that reset on top of Okeanos, reduce the attack bar of his team. Fire Ryu not able to deal anything just yet. We're going to see a big second skill going on top of Okeanos. Not really doing anything, but doing a little bit of damage here. I don't think we're going to be seeing that third skill coming out. Massive 4-team stun because with that second skill from Mo Long.
Is this 2017 Stook? Are we seeing history repeat itself?
I've been seeing this unit perform so often, but a 4-unit stun coming out of Mo Long was very impressive.
From here, stunning that Lulu is a lot of big value. There's not a lot that Shizzy can really do to Duhstin to fight through this Fire Ryu. This thing's going to heal it for a ton of damage. And there it is, the Reckless Assault with the shield hits for 41k on the Cardinal. Bonus damage to fire there. And he's going to have to survive through that. All the extra turn from Lulu, though, does give him enough healing to top it off.
That's exactly what Shizzy needed there, getting the additional turns and all that healing coming out of Lulu. We see that third skill coming out, dealing a lot of damage to the Mo Long. Mo Long not looking like he's in a very good spot here. We see the big second skill coming out for Chungpong, but we could see that that Fire Ryu is going to be countering.
Something worth noting here, though, is even though he didn't get the stuns, the slow debuff on the Fire Ryu there actually is quite good value. And the slow debuff on the Molly as well. It denies a lot of healing on this Mo Long, and Mo Long could actually go down to this Cardinal here. Cardinal has skill 3 and skill 2 available. Molly does not have any immunity and is slow debuffed.
We're going to see the big damage coming out of that third skill. Is it going to be enough to drop that Mo Long? Here it comes. Is it enough? And it is enough. Mo Long does get dropped here. No defense break on the side of Duhstin anymore. We see that additional turn coming out. Looking to deal damage with the defense broken Molly. Is Chungpong going to be enough with that third skill? Choosing to go first skill, instead not killing the Molly. But Ganny's going to be there to pick it up.
Shizzy playing very calculated here. Wants to actually wait before skill 3ing with his Chungpong. Wants to wait until he has full immunity on his team. Oh, but decides not to. I thought he was going to wait so he didn't get the branding. But there's the branding and the life drain. It's looking pretty scary, though. Even though it is currently a 2v4, that Fire Ryu has a lot of potential for a big solo here.
It really does. We could be seeing a Fire Ryu solo here. I think he's going to be dropping that Chungpong as soon as possible. We can see the heal coming out from Lulu. No additional turns, though. Does he need to land this death break? And he does not land it. Big damage goes back onto Chungpong. This is where we may see that solo potential.
I don't know about you guys at home, but I'm excited. I always love Fire Ryu. It's one of my favorite units. This is one of the coolest solos to see. And it's just one of those things where if you don't draft something against it, you have to ban it.
What we're definitely going to be seeing is a lot of ventilates back onto that Connell. He needs to receive that stun so we can limit the damage coming from this Fire Ryu. Fire Ryu absolutely slamming away at this Ganymede to stop those ventilates from coming back up. You can see that massive damage coming back towards the Connell. Lulu trying to do all it can, healing up as much as possible with all 3 of these skills that heal. Ganny possibly looking to apply a bit of glancing. No glancing lands. Branding effect comes out. There goes Ganymede. More damage comes toward the Connell. Big second skill to possibly heal up and get the immunity onto his Connell here.
Is this going to happen? Are we going to see a Fire Ryu solo in the first day of America's Cup already?
We may see it here. Connell has big shoes to fill right now. He needs to be able to keep this Pyro Ryu under control. Lulu's going to be doing his job no matter what with all 3 skills healing. Is he going to get the stun with this 3rd skill here? Choosing to go for 2nd skill instead.
I think we're going to see a treat. Here it is. The Fire Ryu's coming in for the solo alongside the 4-man stun Molong in first turn, but actually lands the stun with Karnal and denies the opportunity here for the Fire Ryu to solo. The damage could come out and actually take him down. He needs to get that turn immediately, but that slow debuff is just working so strong.
Let's see if Karnal's able to finish this off here. Big 2nd skills coming in. Is it going to be enough here? Still not enough. There's the branding effect healing up a whole lot here. We're going to see another cleanse and a heal coming out. Choosing not to cleanse that branding effect. We're going to see it revenge here with branding and sitting on top of Karnal. Does land the provoke.
And the skill tree should finish it. The further we go into the match, the more attack everyone gets. And he actually takes it down. The additional damage beats him.
And there you have it, Shizzy is going to be moving forward.
What a match there, and Shizzy. He had control of the game, but Duhstin's Fire Ryu, it was shades of Miho. So used to seeing Miho do that kind of reverse revenge, kind of comeback there. But Fire Ryu coming up huge for Duhstin, but falls just short in game number 2. And even in that game number 1, that was a fantastic matchup between both those guys. Analysts, I've got to ask, what's in love? What is going on with accuracy, man? Like, these CRs aren't landing anything. No one's landing anything, and it's leading to these exciting, long, drawn-out matches.
You know, a lot of players have actually opted to go a little bit lower on the accuracy and focus more on additional damage with the crit rotation, just because the fixed damage on that is way stronger. They have come to realize that, hey, if I miss the bomb, I can still rip through my enemies. So it could be that. It could be a little bit of bad RNG, but who knows?
Yeah, well, let's take a look at it one more time from our replay of that last match here. Again, Shizzy able to outlast here, but that first one, Stoic, was very fun to watch.
Yeah, that first match was very well controlled. Shizzy played that fantastic, but looking at this second match here, this is one of those matches where you're covered in sweat, but you can't help but say, easy, at the very end.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Shizzy said. He wasn't sweating at all. As again, the replay didn't do the justice of how good that second set was, man. That was a hell of a way to get things kicked off here for the America's Cup preliminaries. As we take a look at the bracket, here we go. Bam. Shizzy's name now written in pen as he's going to go up against TrueWhale. Both these guys go 2-0. The journey's a little bit different here, but you can see it. Bam. So next up, we've got Zefarious and BigV, who will also be fighting for their right to move on in the America's Cup. Again, these are the opening matches, so 2 wins and you're in. You lose, you're not done. It's a double elimination bracket, but you won't play until next week. Zefarious and BigV. All right, bam, stats. Zefarious right here, a worthy opponent, leveling up at the right time in the hundreds over in season 15, but season 16, but over in season 17, turned it on and finished over 18th Stoic.
Yep, that's right. I mean, Zefarious, a returning player, he played last year, played up against Truck, and we had some pretty rough matches up against Truck here, but you know what? Zefarious has a new contender here, a new face like BigV. I'm expecting to see Zefarious do fairly well here. We can see he has, a pretty good win rate in that season 17, and he definitely picked it up a whole lot compared to this previous season. But Zefarious is definitely a strong competitor. I'm expecting to see him do really well.
Yeah, lots of Art Masters, lots of Oracles, very meta here, once in love, right?
Yeah, seeing a lot of that strong meta units, even in the season before. Taking the Vanessa is a little bit on the weirder side for me when it comes to that season 16 meta, but at the end of the day, you got the Gianna Sierra. It's a good combination to run through.
Yeah, well, Zefarious, part of that malicious crew, will be up against BigV. So BigV qualifying in consistent around the 70s. BigV has a couple units here that are going to be surprising. The Moor will be showing up. So not Water Ryu, but the Moor will be here in his toolbox. BigV, what should we be expecting out of him? What's his path to victory once in love?
I'm interested to see if he goes for some sort of Nikki cleave. Nikki got a pretty strong buff that gives her a very strong heal, and additional damage is incredible with her third skill there. But also that unique Asima pick. I think we commonly see a 100 resist Asima nowadays with the artifact changes. I'm interested to see if he goes for that turn 2 opportunity with that and the Kinky.
Stoic, while we got a little bit of time here, what are your thoughts on BigV, part of the 27 Cups of Whiskey plan? matches his W.
I mean, that's right. That looks out to me, and I see that I'm relating to him already. Big V is actually a proud father and a whiskey drinker. I like both of these, but I'm not too sure these are going to help him here. But I still would really like to see Big V do well.
Yeah, definitely. And when you look at the matchup between these two contrasting styles, not all the same types of units, too. And I kind of wanted to get your thoughts here, real quick, Once in Love, on what we've seen so far compared to what you think we're going to see in this matchup.
So what we've seen so far in the TrueWhale versus DanielKarioKa matchup, we saw a lot of clean, consistent, this is my draft, I'm going to run it, you have to play around me, right? TrueWhale having an incredible box and incredible opportunity with that Pontos, as well as the ragdoll potential that he didn't actually quite need to pick, versus what we see in the Shizzy versus Dustin match, where it's a lot more responsive. Both players responding to what the other one takes, kind of playing around each other, almost like it's a song and dance. I think
Stoic,
with the Zefarious BigV game, sorry.
Oh, sorry, brother.
So my thoughts on Zefarious and Big V. I mean, I don't really know too much about Big V. So Zefarious, we saw him play very, very strong. You know, I think he did take a match from TREUWHALE, and I'm not too sure if he did too well in the loser bracket. To my knowledge, I couldn't remember really well. But Big V, I'm very interested to see what he's going to be bringing to the table. You know, this is his first time in SWC. We're going to see if maybe the nerves might get to him or if he's going to keep it cool. And I think that's going to show a whole lot in his draft.
All right, well, we'll get to find out right now. Zefarious and Big V, will Zefarious be able to make his way into the America's Cup and a little bit further, unlike what he did in the past? And what are we going to get to know and learn from Big V in this matchup? Let's find out. Stoic, Once in Love, take it away.
Here we go, guys. Getting into our first round between Zefarious and Big V. Is the proud father going to come out on top with Zefarious here, or is the Hawaii local going to take this win here? Big V with first pick, but pre-bans are coming out here.
Interested to see what Zefarious does for the first pre-ban, knowing he doesn't have first pick.
Oh, it looks like Chung Pong and Lulu are going to be the pre-bans coming out in this match. Interesting to see the Lulu getting pre-banned. Everybody has this unit.
Yeah, Lulu is definitely one of the stronger, more frustrating units to play against right now in the meta. And Big V slapping down the Gianna first. Knows Zefarious has one, wants to take it away, deny that early on.
Takes that Gianna as a first pick. Zefarious looking towards an Okeanos and an Hagang, which is an excellent counter for this Gianna.
Leaves the Sierra open, though. A little bit on the risky side, but Big V's leaning towards a Molly already.
Yep, looking for a Molly, which I think is a little bit of a safe pick here as a second draft. And he does confirm Ciara here.
Not quite sure what the plan is here to go in with that Molly. Could pick a Mo along with this. Could honestly go for like a turn 2 setup. Does have that Asima, does have that Nikki. Zefarious has to play a little safe here. You know, there's a lot of flexibility around what Big V can change into.
Well, I'm a fan of what Zefarious just locked in here. He's got the Connell and he's got the Ganny, and we've seen these 3 units on one team do very, very well. Big V showing a Chow. We haven't seen a Chow in SWC since maybe 2017 or 2016 for a Mobile Masters.
Well, after that buff, you know, that was the 10K Chow. Those were the days. After last night's APAC Cup, actually, I've been waiting to see this Chow. There were tons of matches yesterday where I said, you know, a Chow would be incredible here. Tons of matches where a Chow would have soloed the whole match better than, you know, a Fire Ryu or even a Kinky. But he locks in both. There's the Chow and the Kinky. Wants to deny Zefarious a lot of potential. Not going to get a lot of value out of the Okeanos or Carnal stuns here just because Chow cleanses now and the Molly's there.
Yep, Chow received the buff that he needed for so long, and it is perfectly drafted looking at this Okeanos and Connell in the field. Zefarious, realizing that Chow was drafted for that very purpose, drafts the Savannah, because I think he may be banning out that Kinky.
I'm not sure if the Savannah's enough. I think he's already been kind of pressured into a corner from the draft. I think the Savannah will go through. Otherwise, it'll be a Hagang ban if Big V is afraid of that. On Zefarious' side, I'm leaning towards a Chow ban on the assumption that the Savannah's going down.
Well, we're not going to be seeing that Chow tonight. Chow is going to be banned out here. Ganymede getting banned out on Zefarious' side of the field. Speed lead for BigV, accuracy lead for Zefarious. Here we go, guys. We're getting into round 1 with Zefarious and BigV.
The Gianna not going to get a lot of value here. The skill 3.
Ooh, wow. Does not receive the strip stun on top of Heigang here.
Actually got the perfect opportunity set up with the Gianna. Managed to strip stun everybody except for the stripper. So now Zefarious has to play it a little differently. Doesn't have the immediate CC setup ready for that Kinky and just goes in anyways.
Yep, Okeanos with double stuns on top of Molly and that Gianna. We see the strip coming out with the stun on top of that Kinky as well. Rain of Stones coming out, looking to lock everybody down here. Nice little turn of events for Zefarious.
Here goes down to that Okeanos, and there's the Molly gone from the Savannah. There's a lot of damage open coming from Zefarious' team. Actually has way more than we initially thought, and might actually be able to control and deal with this Kinky right away.
He might be. We could see that he's taking advantage of this stunned up unit Kinky, not able to revenge here. Looks like he's trying to take out the Gianna now. Lands that very nice provoke, little bit of attack bar, no attack bar pushback on top of Kinky. Kinky's going to be all alone here. Is it going to be enough to possibly solo out? I don't think so. Big damage coming out of that Connell, and here we go. There's that, no attack bar pushback here.
But the double debuff does take it down.
That's right, double debuff does take it down. Zefarious taking round 1 against BigV. Kinky was not able to hold on.
Yeah, even with that ideal Gianna setup, you strip stun, but you don't strip stun the only stripper, messing up all the turn order. BigV still just didn't have enough to deal with Zefarious. Zefarious had tons of damage, landed most things through the Molly. I would dare to say maybe he got a little lucky.
Quite possibly, but we'll see getting into round 2. Is BigV going to turn it around? Are we going to see a Chow once again? But Changpeng Lulu with the bans. These units are now free. New pre-bans coming out, and it is going to be Connell, the very oppressive Connell, and the Kinkies getting banned out.
There's a Zefarious with first pick here. Do we see him insta-lock the Gianna to take it away from BigV, or maybe just taking the Sierra for that speed lead opportunity?
Oh, Zefarious is definitely going to be taking that Gianna away, and that we see the Okeanos and Lulu being drafted by BigV.
Zefarious responds, though. I really, really like this Changpeng and Heigang. Heigang being an incredible setup with the Gianna. The enemy can't take it away from you, as well as it actually works well into the Lulu. Not everyone remembers the second part of the passive, but every time you cleanse, your whole team gains attack bar. Or anytime the enemy cleanses. Apologies.
Well, BigV locking in that Chiwu and that Savannah. Zefarious looking to draft 2 last units after seeing them. And we are going to see a CR coming out, taking his own speed lead as well. I do like Zefarious' team right now. I think he's got a very great amount of control.
Interesting to see the Annabelle. I really like the concept of possibly a Charlotte there, but Annabelle does work fairly nicely into the Oki and Chiwu. The slow debuff to counter the speed buff from the Savannah. Not quite sure what we're seeing for a ban here. We have 3 strippers, speed lead. We have a decent amount of control and damage.
Oh, it looks like BigV is going to be locking in the Diana. Possible ban on the Changpeng, is it? But we're about to find out. Does he choose to lock in the Diana or not?
I really like the Diana last pick here. I think it's a really aggressive pick, but it's also very strong. Diana with the Savannah in here really forces a hard, heavy hand. I think we might actually see a Sierra ban to see first turn go away.
Well, speed leads are getting banned on both sides of the field. It's all up to the runes at this point. BigV with the accuracy lead. Zefarious with the attack lead. Is this going to be enough for the 2 of them? Let's see who's got the quicker units. And it looks like Zefarious is going to be taking first turn with the Gianna, looking for a full team strip stun and receives that, but the additional turn does come out for Savannah.
Yeah, not enough to push though. Really needs the violent proc on this Lulu here, but we'll see what happens. Again, coming in,
we'll definitely see what happens.
Back.
Changpeng's going to be here looking for the attack bar reduction. Does not receive the attack bar reduction on top of that Lulu. There's that AoE Death Break coming out and only landing on top of Okeanos and Lulu.
A lot of damage come out here. Oh, that's a big stun to get on the Gianna. Denies the bomb opportunity on the first and denies that actual push onto the Lulu. This is going to be a really uphill battle for Zefarious now. Doesn't have any real way to control or kill this Lulu.
Well, Zefarious going in for a nice second skill. Does he land the glancing on top of Diana? Does land that glancing with the additional turn coming out, looking to push back a little bit of attack bar on top of Lulu. We can't let Lulu get a turn or else he's going to sustain his team.
Maybe, just maybe, he's going to get enough damage. This Annabelle's coming in hot. And the extra turn.
Annabelle with the additional turn, finishing off that Lulu there. Wow.
Zefarious climbs that uphill battle, manages to take out the Lulu and kind of reset the setting of this match. Keep in mind, though, that the Savannah does still have skill 3. Oh, does not actually have skill 3. My apologies. He used it earlier on.
Ooh, another additional turn coming out of Changpong. Not able to do anything much there. Looking for attack bar pushback on top of that Diana. Not receiving it. Is Okeanos going to be transferring that Death Break? And does transfer the Death Break. I'm not too sure he's going to be able to take advantage of it because the bomb comes out on Diana. Diana's in a very rough position.
That transfer was actually worse off for BigV. Ended up transferring and cleansing, giving Zefarious attack bar and letting the Gianna move in front of that Diana. Managed to put the bomb on her to control before the Diana could have just taken her out.
BigV is going to need a lot of additional turns here to come out of this hole that he was placed in. You may even see a second scale healing up his team. Way too much sustain now for Zefarious, and this is definitely going to be it for BigV. Gianna trying to cycle a little bit of attack bar, going after that Okeanos. Diana will be dropping from this bomb here. We see another bomb coming out, being placed on top of the Savannah. If this bomb does go off, maybe stunned up and left off of its mount.
Looking pretty bad for BigV here, even though he does have the defense break into that turn. Savannah, oh, but the extra turn for Savannah could take out the Annabelle right now.
Needs to take out that Annabelle. We're going to see a big second skill. Drops the Annabelle here. I know he has a second skill, but this Okeanos does drop the Gianna. Is it going to be enough? Death Break removes the Chunk Bug from the field. Okeanos trying to poke away at this Hagang. BigV with the big turnaround. Is this going to be enough? Trying to drop the Hagang. Hagang looking for the attack bar pushback, not receiving it. BigV with the big victory over Zefarious, keeping himself in. Whew.
That was incredible. The Savannah proc at the last turn to save and kill the Annabelle. Doesn't miss a single crit on any of the units. Just manages to bring it back from a very grim-looking perspective.
That was very grim for BigV, and he needed additional turns. He got the right additional turns, taking that second round away from Zefarious. It was so close. But we see here pre-bans from before. The Connell and the Kinky are going to be back in this match. New pre-bans are going to be coming out.
Yeah, in the last match, I think the one thing that I want to mention might have been worth changing is Zefarious had skill 3 with his Gianna and probably could have stunned the Savannah before the bomb just to reduce a tiny bit more damage. But I'm not quite sure if it would have made that much of a difference since she did resist and then proc.
Well, BigV is going to be locking in that Gianna this time, taking it away from Zefarious. Zefarious drafting the Connell, and again, that Hagang.
BigV responds, wants to take the really good counters, takes the speed lead into the Hagang and the strip pushback, has the Savannah, knows it's really fast, and Zefarious picking the one unit we haven't actually seen yet in the tournament. There's the Water Ryu, the Moore, along with that Changpong. It's a very standard ladder draft from last season, and honestly still for this season.
Yep, more coming out along with that Changpong. BigV drafting once again that Kinky with the Diana being a very strong pick up against this Moore.
Zefarious needs a strong last pick here if he doesn't want to ban out the Chiwu. He would need a second speed lead in that situation, or Sierra is pretty comfortable in this draft. You have a lot of potential to pick it both against the Savannah and the Diana, and it can kill the Kinky. It can kill the Kinky if you're on the luckier side.
Zefarious wrapping up his draft with Ciara getting an additional speed lead. Only one speed lead sitting on the side of BigV. Is the speed leads possibly going to be the ban, or is he going to be removing the Kinky from this field?
If Zefarious is fast enough, I think he bans the Chiwu. If he's not fast enough, he bans the Gianna, because we're going to see most likely the Hagang gone.
Looks like Chiwu and Ciara are going to be banned out, but Zefarious still with a speed lead. Is this going to be enough? Can BigV upset Zefarious in this round 3, or can Zefarious hold on and take it home? We see Water Ryu or more with the strip attack bar pushback, and we get that death break coming right back to more.
Lands the full team strip is quite a bit faster. When it all comes down to, does he have enough to control this Kinky?
We're about to find out. We see that second skill onto BigV's team with the additional turn. That's exactly what you want to see as a Chungpong owner. Second skill, third skill, reducing the attack bar, more revenging coming out of this Kinky. Is it going to get stunned up by this Kana? We're about to find out. Does land the slow on his team, almost dropping the Gianna, but with the additional turn, he's going to be trying to land that stun on to the Diana.
Has 2 opportunities to stun the Kinky here. Has the Heigang for the stun as well as the Cardinal skill 3. It's actually looking pretty good for Zefarious. He does have a ton of damage with his comp. That extra turn on the Chungpong was absolutely destructive.
And it still is destructive. Chungpong with more additional turns. It is so oppressive, leaving these glancing effects and all these defense breaks everywhere. Diana's not able to capitalize on anything. And we see that even the Heigang has enough to take out that Diana. It is just a lonely Kinky with a lot of additional damage on the side of Zefarious.
Oh, I think it's over. That defense break is too much damage coming in. Zefarious has so much.
Zefarious taking round 3 away from BigV.
Yeah, Zefarious showing BigV what Big Z looks like and takes the victory there 2-1 and making it close, right? That was one of the best comebacks we've seen in SWC. We saw the Fire Ryu almost come back earlier for Duhstin, but this time BigV comes all the way back, gets the win, but then just shuts down any sort of comeback there in game number 3. That was a heck of a series between these two competitors, and Zefarious gets to continue on his march towards the America's Cup. Again, BigV not out, and that was our first time in a matchup where the player that lost was able to pull back 1 game, and he'll have the opportunity next Saturday to try and climb his way out of the bottom side of the bracket. And man, once in love, finally, we got some accuracy. Lots of strips, lots of things proccing, but this time it was on both sides.
Yeah, we saw a lot of it, and we even saw a lot of things hitting through the Molly's passive. You know, in that first match, the Cardinal and the Okeanos got full stuns, full slows against the Molly passive. There was a lot of value that Zefarious got from both the Cardinal and the Okeanos. Cardinal, like we've said, one of the strongest meta units right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at those highlights one more time here. Stoic, again, just a great battle between these two competitors.
It was a great battle in that first round. Zefarious, a lot of control, you know, having to deal with that Molly on the field and that Kinky as well. And Zefarious just did a phenomenal job. That second match, on the other hand, BigV turning around, beautiful additional turns, getting him exactly where he needed him, and that's what truly mattered. BigV with a big upset in that round 2, but Zefarious going into round 3, lots of additional damage on his team, capitalizing on all those Chungpong violent procs. The best Chungpong is the Chungpong that does violent proc, capitalizing off of skill 2s into skill 3s, capitalizing with the additional damage from artifacts as well. Just a very strong controlling team from Zefarious.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you said it. Skill 2 into skill 3 was just pretty suffocating from anyone that's played against the Chungpong. So congrats to Zefarious for taking the victory over BigV. He'll move on in the bracket, blam, right here, and play in the winner's bracket now. Again, both he, TrueWhale, and Shizzy all 1 win away from the America's Cup. But we've got one more matchup. This is one right here. Bam! Match 4. It's the most exciting one of the day, according to Once in Love. FAINTMEMORY against Jsss. These two competitors have one massive toolbox between the both of them. It's going to be a lot of fun as we take a look at the man, the myth, the legend, FAINTMEMORY, the man who's just been so close so many times for qualifying on through. Ranked 44 in season 15 in the 20s, or season 16, sorry, and then in the 20s in season 17. Once in Love, I want you to go first because this is one of your favorite players.
Yeah, so there's a couple of reasons. One, Josh is brilliant. 2, doesn't have an LD Nat 5, but still is an absolutely incredible player. Picked up that Kinky, the light Onimusha, and just slaughtered people on the ladder. I am very excited to see how he plays against Jsss, knowing that Jsss has a huge box of LDs.
Stoic.
I mean, that's exactly it. Faint Memory being someone that keeps on returning. He's played every single SWC, and I'm expecting him to do a lot better this year. I like to look at this SWC as a redemption. This is where Faint Memory is going to shine. Faint Memory is going to prove all of that brilliance and skill right here. This is it. It's his time.
Yeah, well, if he's going to get any redemption, it's going to be up against this man right here, Jsss. So Jsss coming in with a nice toolbox of units as well. He's been climbing up the ladder. Father earlier as well. We got to chat about dads. He's one of them as well. 58th, and then cooled off a little bit season 17 here once in love, but still a player to be reckoned with.
Yeah, so Jsss, I think, wanted to hide a lot of his drafts for season 17, wanted to kind of keep things a little under wraps. But I know for sure he's a very consistent player. He has a very high win rate against a lot of the good players.
Stoic, we know that a lot of success here in the America's Cup and in SWC comes to preparation. Hiding drafts, that helps, right?
It definitely does. You know, being able to add as much curiosity to your character, to your draft, is very, very important in the game of Summoner's War, because if you're able to predict what's going on or what's happening next, that is the best way to play this game. And Jsss is playing up against someone who is amazing at predicting. You watch Faint Memory play his matches, and he plays to a T, where it is just nothing but excellence. And Jsss has quite a player to be going up against. So I don't know if he's added enough mystery to his draft going into this match, but let's see if he did.
Yeah, well, again, here we go, guys. These are two of the most hyped players in this side of the bracket. It's going to be quite the mental game. I'm very excited as we get into our final match of the opening stage. Who will be a step closer to booking their ticket to the America's Cup? Will it be Faint Memory, one of the greatest minds of the game, or Jsss, who's been climbing his way on through? Let's find out.
Well, here we go. Faint Memory, Jsss. It's going to be our last quarterfinal match here. We've got Jsss with the first pick, but pre-bans are going to be coming out. We're going to be seeing who did their homework here.
Nefty's a potential pre-ban for Faint Memory here. Jsss on the other side. Kinky's definitely a high priority for that pre-ban.
And the pre-bans are coming out. We're going to see a Fire Bison, also known as Connell, getting banned out here with the Neftis.
Feeling a first pick Sierra. I'm really feeling the first pick Sierra here.
Well, we're going to be seeing a Chung Pung coming out here. Chung Pung with Kinky. He's flashing the Kinky. Faint Memory's flashing the Kinky, letting him know that he has it. But he goes to the Ciara Okeanos, which is a very, very consistent draft.
I love that. These two are friends, so they're messing around a little bit and having a little fun with it. The Water Ryu comes out. Here we go. Both players taking speed leads. Very leaned in towards that win draft, though.
Are we going to be seeing a possible Chloe coming out of Faint Memory? And we do not. Definitely baited us out, showing that lovely 3-star, but we're going to be seeing Kinky and Hagen coming out for Faint Memory.
So Chloe is actually interesting. It's been something we've been seeing him beat people with on ladder, you know, the consistent top 20 players. It's a bit of a unique technique. Not a lot of people will know about it, but it is pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool.
Well, Jsss looking at an Asima right now, which is a very aggressive unit, something that you do have to worry about, especially if it's brewing properly, and I would imagine so. Savannah wrapping up Js's draft. Faint Memory looking to respond.
From an overview and a glance, this looks like a very Diana-able match, but I think that there are a couple of fire units here that would be fairly effective too, like a Juno.
Faint Memory hovering over Fran, chooses to lock in that Fran. Bans are going to be coming out here.
Fran's pretty effective with the Kinky. I think a lot of people underrate how strong the attack buff makes your Kinky.
Oh, bans are out there. Looks like Jsss banned that last unit. And then the first pick for Jsss was banned out as well. Well, let's go. We're getting into the first match. Faint Memory and Jsss. We've got Water Ryu taking first turn for Jsss.
Full team strip comes out. Okeanos with the big stun. Full team. Sierra, will you land the bomb? Will you let us down, or will you be just like everyone else today? She hits the bomb.
Bomb came out, landing on top of that Asima, looking to get rid of the unit that has a lot of damage potential. Kinky with a big second skill, looking to remove some units from the field, dealing massive damage, knocking the Savannah right off the mount. Ciara here with first skill, choosing not to detonate the bomb because he does not have to. And Hey Gang looking to drop Ryu, and Ryu does not drop here.
Steal magic onto the Oki, denies any more rotations here, but it's looking pretty grim for JS. You know, Savannah's dead, Asima's dead.
Most definitely is. Kinky, being oppressive as he is, lots of turns here. No defense breaks necessary, removing everybody from the field. JS already thinking about how to draft the next match.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did I just see that Kinky Violent proc?
Possibly. I think it did get an additional turn there. But here we go. Faint Memory taking round one away from JS.
I think we did see that Violent proc. That was actually an incredible thing. So a lot of people are running that Kinky on Despair, but at a higher level, the two stronger builds are actually Violent or Vampire. Vampire allows you to heal on skill 2, and the Violent allows you to defense break into an extra turn.
I think Violent is a very, very oppressive rune set to have on your units, especially when it comes to a tournament setting. Additional turns means a lot of things. Additional turns means coming out of stuns and CCs, so I'm not surprised to see Faint Memory using a Violent set with this Kinky. Prevents from last time, we've got the Fire Bison and Nephthys that are now going to be available going into round 2 with Faint Memory and JS.
Interesting to see. I like the Pontos Prevent. I think the Pontos Prevent is very effective into this. The Hey Gang, though, JS definitely wants to lean towards that Gianna focus draft, Chunk Punk Gianna focus.
Pontos Hey Gang pre-banned out. And we have more or Water Ryu coming out for Faint Memory. More with the 24 speed lead, stripper attack bar reduction. Very strong unit.
So JS actually chooses not to contend for turn 1 immediately. Goes for the Fire Bison or Carnal, and the Lulu wants to play safe.
Yep, JS locking in the Fire Bison Connell and the Lulu as well. Faint Memory taking that Molong away, often paired next to Lulu. And we do see the Chloe coming out for Faint Memory. We are going to be seeing it.
Chloe with that recent buff actually has 3 turns of immunity now and a high base speed, so a pretty effective unit. Does pair the invincibility well nicely into the Molong skill 3-4 Reckless Assault.
Yep, JS showing this Chung Pong stripper resetter as well. Chung Pong being a very strong unit, looking at a Moore and Molong. I'm not too sure about the Chloe though, and then locks in a CR as well, taking his own speed lead.
Interested to see what the last pick is here, whether he goes for another fixed damage unit, another single target snipe, or just goes for something consistent. Oh, there it is. There's the Daphnis for the single target snipe through the Lulu.
Yep, Faint Memory locking in Okeanos Daphnos to wrap up his draft to go with this Chloe. Is JS thinking about banning out this Chloe? I'm very, very curious. And here we go, JS wrapping up his draft. One last pick here.
I really like the pressure here from the Daphnis last pick. It pressures the Lulu not to put immunity up on your team because Daphnis will just instantly take out anything. And there it is. There's the Chow. Chow skill 2 Justice going through the shield. The Daphnis gives himself, has the opportunity for the one shot.
Yep, also going through the invincibility that he's going to be providing here. And Chow, just as quick as we see him, is just as quick as he's banned out. Chow, we're not going to be seeing any action from him. Molong also banned out, but here we go. We're getting into a round 2 with Faint Memory and JS.
We do get to see this Chloe, though. I'm interested to see how much value we get out of this 3 turns of immunity.
Okeanos with that skill 2, getting the reset on top of Chung Pong. Chung Pong doing exactly what he does best, and that's additional turns. We're going to see Chloe going out with the 3rd skill. We see the 3 turn of immunity with invincibility as well.
So here's the question. Will JS use the Lulu skill 3 or not?
We're gonna find out. Overwhelm comes out looking for a reset on top of anybody. Does not receive that reset on top of the Lulu. We can see Ciara did get pushed back though.
This is looking like a most likely dead Chung Pong here with the Daphnis, or possibly even the Sierra going down.
Well, Changpeng does violent proc a lot. Is he going to proc out of the immunity? And does not. Changpeng in a very bad place right now.
A lot of extra turns coming out for Jsss, but not enough value on them. Has to fight through this immunity and just doesn't have the control for it.
This is exactly what we're waiting for, though. We see that third skill coming out, lands that death break, removes the Changpeng from the field, and that's exactly what FAINTMEMORY was waiting for.
It's gonna be a hard match here for Jsss. It's completely uphill. You know, no way to strip that 3 turns of immunity from the Chloe, and your main damage dealer is the Sierra. You know, you have the control from the Cardinal, but none of that really applies when everyone has immunity.
Yep, Rain of Stones coming out, getting the stuns out. Ciara procking right out of that stun. You can see a nice skill 2 heal coming out for FAINTMEMORY's team, and definitely looking very grim for Jsss.
Oh, but the missed reset. Okeanos does not manage to control the Sierra, which means Sierra will get a turn, will get a bomb here. But does she land? That is the question of the day for everybody.
That is definitely the question of the day. Ciara is just not doing her job. She could be one of the best, but also one of the worst net 5s in this game. Missing another bomb out there with the glancing, not able to cycle with first skill. Ciara just walks off this field in shame at this point.
Was that also a despair stun from the Moor onto the Sierra with the skill 1?
I do believe so. I do believe the Moor was on despair.
Lovely to see these unique comps. You know, we see a Chloe, something that was recently buffed, but also is not a super common meta pick in RTA. It's lovely to see these unique pecks that FAINTMEMORY comes up with and just brings right into the tournaments.
Yep, he really does. A lot of excitement coming out of FAINTMEMORY. FAINTMEMORY very comfortable going into these 2 matches with Jsss. Gets the 2-0. FAINTMEMORY is going to be moving forward today.
Yeah, there it is, Stoic. FAINTMEMORY not letting down. The pressure was on. You know, we've seen him stumble before, but not the case this time. That was one of the most controlled matches we've seen so far. And, you know, on Js's side, we got to keep bringing it up. What's the love, man? What's going on with the Ciaras? They can't see what is happening. They can't place. It's just put it on them, please. Just get it there, whatever.
You know, we always say Sierra's the best daughter. She puts on continuous damage and misses the bomb every single time. You know, she's an incredible unit. She's a speed lead that does true damage with the bombs, but at the end of the day, if she misses, she doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, again, and just had dominated last year's SWC, was just a need to pick, and still currently relevant in the meta, but just a lot of missing. And in that last game, once immunity went up, no way to strip down. That felt very, very difficult as we take a look at that match one more time, because again, it was just a hell of a controlled game there by FAINTMEMORY. One of the players in the Americas region who has so much potential, was so proud of never using LD, now gets the unit and is just, again, just even stronger with the fact that he's able to just control opponents that are some of the best in the world, some of the best in the Americas region in Jsss. And so FAINTMEMORY continues on his journey for the America's Cup. My goodness, it was just a great showing. And what a showing for all of the players so far in the tournament, even those that have fallen earlier. As we take a look at our casters one more time to bring them on in. Stoic, it's been a heck of a start to the tournament so far, hasn't it?
It really has. It's been a heck of a start. We've seen incredible plays. We've seen, honestly, some upsets as well. But honestly, everybody played phenomenal. Watching FAINTMEMORY even wrap up this last match, he's just showing how comfortable he is. This is just another day for SWC for him. And it feels like a walk in the park watching him play.
Yeah, well, we get to see it one more time with this replay. Once in Love, I feel like this is a pretty straightforward one, right?
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. Didn't really have a way to deal with the Kinky. The Hey Gang was absolutely incredible. Needed some incredible speed tuning to really deny the Hey Gang attack bar boost. But that Chloe pick was just, it got me going. I saw that, I was like, here we go. It's time for an incredible match. You guys are going to see something you've never seen before, and you're going to love it.
Yep. Well, there you go. FAINTMEMORY taking care of business and was able to move on in the tournament. He's just been dominant and definitely scary for an opponent that's to play him. Oh yeah, that's right. We do have the opponents that are supposed to play them. Put the bracket up. Bam! There it is. It's Zefarious and FAINTMEMORY on the bottom side of the winner's bracket. The next one that wins will be moving on to America's Cup proper. Don't have to worry about anything. They can start prepping and don't have to worry about next week. But the match that we'll have after the short break, it'll be TrueWhale, the highest rated player in the tournament, against Shizzy, who took care of business against Duhstin. Both those guys easy wins. And one of those guys will be booking their ticket to the America's Cup next, after we take a short break, everybody. So we know it's been a heck of a match so far. We love all of you that have been watching along, and I'm sure you've been playing along too on your phone. So we got a little something for you like we always do. Spam it in the chat. Coupon code goes live right now. Mods, get it in there. Bam. Welcome to SWC21. That is welcome to SWC21. Get yourself some energy, some mana stones. You can use those mana stones for your rune upgrades, energy. You know, you can level up your units wherever you want to end up using it. Make sure to plug that one in. Welcome to SWC21. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, 2 players from the Americas region will make their dreams come true as they book their ticket to the America's Cup. Don't go anywhere. You're watching SWC 2021. Wanted to bring to your attention again, after to every single SWC broadcast.
He did not pull the Chong yet. I would have thought I would see Sierra first pick. He goes to the
Okay, here we go. Oh, Lucian, it's over. Lucian, it's the 12,000.
Mr. Chung is going to be this year's SWC champion.
This is war. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'll show you who's boss. The world is now a real-time battlefield. Join the global battlefield. Summoner's War, Lost Centuria. Download now.
SWC broadcast.
He did not pull the Champang yet. I would have thought I would see Sierra first pick. He goes to the
Okay, here we go. Oh, Lucian, it's over. Lucian, it's the 12,000.
This is war. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'll show you who's boss. The world is now a real-time battlefield. Join the global battlefield. Summoner's War, Lost Centuria. Download now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the SWC 2021 America's Cup Preliminaries. Degon here. We are already halfway through. We got ourselves one hell of a tournament so far. We also want to say bienvenidos en obrigado to our friends in our Spanish-speaking language and our Brazil-speaking language listeners. The stream had some issues, so we got you covered right here in the English broadcast. We appreciate all you, and it's a great reminder how global this event is. It is the step towards the 2021 World Championship. So we appreciate all of you tuning on in, and it's been one hell of a ride with my co-casters so far. Once in Love and Stoic. Y'all, quick thoughts on what it's been like so far. Once in Love, it's been your first tournament so far in SWC. How's this first half felt for you, man?
Incredible. It's felt exactly like I've always wanted it to feel. I have the opportunity to work with, one of my favorite people here, as well as I've really just enjoyed the energy that comes from all these matches.
Yeah, thanks, man. You're one of my favorite people, too. Too bad you didn't say anything nice about you, Stoic. All right, now let me know, Stoic, what do you think of the tournament so far, brother?
I mean, it's been entertaining. It's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty happy with people who have been moving forward, minus Mr. DanielKarioKa, but I'm still expecting DanielKarioKa to do very, very well later on. But I think everyone's played really, really well. It's been exciting. It's been fun. And I love being here. I love doing the SWCs, and I really hope everyone is enjoying them.
Yeah, again, love the fact that you bring up Mr. DanielKarioKa. He did lose in that first match representing Brazil, but that's not, the end of his journey, because as we take a look at the overview of the tournament structure itself, it's a double elimination bracket. So all the players that played today aren't done yet. The ones that won still got one more match. The ones that lose will have their redemption bracket tomorrow. So if they win one today and then lose one, they'll still play in the redemption tournament, the lower bracket tournament next week, but they'll be seeded ahead. For the players that lost in that first match, they're back to needing to win. So 2 wins, you're into the America's Cup. 2 losses, and you're out. Pretty straightforward. You can see the cashola right there. Bam, $10,000 for the America's Cup winner. But that's still a ways away. We're still trying to figure out who's making it through as bam, bracket time. Show me the 4 players that are vying for their spot right now. There it is. TrueWhale and Shizzy will be up next again. And then afterwards, it'll be Zefarious and FAINTMEMORY. 2 of those 4 players will be booking their ticket to the America's Cup. They'll be qualified. They don't have to worry about next week, and they'll be seeded on in. Again, it'll be a very, very fun watch as we take a look at the matchup now. On the brink of qualifying, it's TrueWhale, the #1 rated player coming on in, the highest rated player coming on into the tournament, 4th and 4th of the last 2 seasons, and Shizzy with the controlling victory, a very comfortable victory over Duhstin. Almost lost that game number to the Fire Ryu. Comeback almost came through for Duhstin, but Shizzy also 2-0 unscathed. So one of these guys is going to be dropping games, but doesn't seem like it's going to be TrueWhale, right? Because TrueWhale, as we take a look at those stats right there, my man's pretty damn good. 74% win rate is insane. He was the Legend winner last season, and just dominates. And remember, this is him doing it without his ragdoll, Stoic.
I mean, that's true, without the ragdoll. But this match going up against Shizzy, season 15, when Shizzy became Legend, he actually beat TrueWhale for that victory. So it's a pretty big match going up ahead with TrueWhale and Shizzy. Both of these guys are going to be, they know each other very, very well. So we're in for a good one. We're in for a treat. If TrueWhale can stay true and play through, kind of like he did in that first match, we may see a victory with TrueWhale.
Yeah, Once in Love, here's his first match again, and it just seemed pretty methodical there for him against DanielKarioKa. But, man, what more can you say about this guy who's just so highly rated?
Something I think that's worth note and is going to be interesting in this match is that these players actually do not have conflicting LD Nat 5s. So on TrueWhale's side, you have a plethora of LD Nat 5s, but on Shizzy's side, you have the Gianna Han, which is something that TrueWhale doesn't have. So I'm interested to see what the pre-bans come out on both sides, whether it's that Han or Gianna, or if even decides to ban it at all.
Yeah, well, our draft guru obviously put into focus on exactly that. Shizzy, though, is not someone to be slept upon. Got his 2-0 victory earlier against Duhstin. He talked a little bit about the toolbox that he has. Let's take a look at how he did it one more time, Once in Love.
So I really like a lot of his drafts here. He had the very, very, very strong setup with the double Art Masters, as well as having that really closely tuned Ganny. Got to give him props. He's got really good artifacts if that Karnal was able to beat out the Fire Reave in that situation.
Yeah, look, we know that you're high on TrueWhale here, Stoic, but what does Shizzy need to be able to do to get himself the victory here?
I mean, he's got to draft appropriately. He's got to counter right. Reading each other's drafts is going to be very, very important. I mean, I think we might be seeing like a 5th pick bans when it comes to these two. So I'm expecting to see an appropriate 1st pick, 2nd pick, great units, 3rd pick. We're going to be looking towards like those are going to be the ban choices, meaning their draft in a perfect draft. They both draft accordingly and are banning out those last picks, knowing what they're going to be playing up ahead.
All right, y'all, last thing before we hop into the match, putting you on the spot right now on 3. You got to say who's making it through, TrueWhale or Shizzy. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
TrueWhale.
All right, that was easy. Okay, that was very anticlimactic, guys. Let's see if Shizzy's able to come back here or if TrueWhale is able to make it happen. Stoic, once in love. We're punching our first ticket to the America's Cup. Get hyping, chat. This is exciting stuff. Stoic, take it away. Our qualifying match happens right now.
Here we go, guys. We've got TrueWhale. We've got Shizzy getting into our semifinal match here. We've got Shizzy with the 1st pick. Pre-bans are coming out here.
Shizzy denies TrueWhale that Pontos. Really, really good speed lead opportunity and strong control. Knew that Gianna was going down. You know, one of the strongest strippers in the game taken away from Shizzy. Has to accordingly take his picks. I think that something important for Shizzy here in this draft is not to rely too much on the Lulu, because doesn't really have the same pressure as TrueWhale does, where he can just drop in the Ragdoll to get the extra turns with it.
Well, Shizzy with that 1st pick, taking that Okeanos TrueWhale, looking at the very consistent Lulu and Ganny as well. Shizzy bringing out Mo Long and Chang Peng.
I like the Molong pick. I think the Molong pick is really strong. Has a lot of really strong snipe damage, as well as, you know, the extra strip potential. But Changpong into the Lulu is a little bit risky, knowing that the Ragdoll comes there. You know, you're going to AoE, you're going to crit, you're going to give some turns up.
Yep, a lot of additional attack bar TrueWhale is going to be seeing with the Okeanos and that Changpeng, or even this Mo Long as well. TrueWhale is going to be putting that Kinky right next to that Ragdoll here.
I was interested to see whether or not TrueWhale might be dropping a Jaeger here, but I think the Kinky is a lot more effective in a lot of these drafts. Has that defense break, has that really strong passive for revenge. What is Shizzy going to take here? Sierra's looking okay, but the crits might not be the best, but it does give you an option to fight the Kinky. I'm not sure if he has any cares. Maybe a Karnal.
I was going to say, we're expecting to see possibly a Ciara and Karnal here, and I don't know if I'd like to see the Jaeger. I would honestly prefer to see the Chow coming out for TrueWhale, but is he going to be drafting the Chow? Let's see what he favors.
Interesting. Leads in towards the double immunity. Wusa is a very solid pick here. Both the Ragdoll and the Kinky actually do have the damage output to kill any unit on that team. It's going to be a pretty rough wall for Shizzy to go through. Only has 1 stripper in his team, so we're most likely going to see that Changpeng ban.
Well, bans are going to be coming out here. Definitely interesting to see this Wusa. Haven't seen a Wusa in SWC in a little bit. Not often that we see a Wusa coming out here. Bans are coming out. Let's see what we're banning out here as we get down. And Changpeng Lulu are going to be banned out, getting into our round 1 with Shizzy and TrueWhale.
We're looking for a lot of chip damage here, as Shizzy really has to chip damage out and basically out damage the healing and shield you get from both the Kinky as well as the Wusa.
I think I like Shizzy's draft going up against TrueWhale. Is it going to be enough? We're going to find out, guys. Here we go. Okeanos kicking it off here with a big second, or definitely second skill onto TrueWhale.
Big strip reset, gets the violent proc, rotating his cooldowns already. TrueWhale is getting the cooldowns back on Ganymede. Big shield comes up from Wusa. Note the speed on that Wusa means it's on violent. There it is. There's the second proc.
And there's that second skill dealing a good amount of damage towards that Okeanos as well. That's going to be the sustain skill he's going to be using for his team later on. We're going to see second skill. He's choosing to tag it out. The Ganymede. Ganymede not receiving any damage here. Okeanos does have that reckless assault. We're going to see if it's coming out yet or not.
But worth noting, we did see the strip on Wusa, so Sierra can put the bomb into that Wusa there. Doesn't quite have the skills up ready, but Ganymede can ventilate it, so we'll have to see the choice. But there goes the Okeanos. Okeanos goes down to the Kinky and the Ragdoll.
That's right, massive damage coming out of Ragdoll. Eliminating that Okeanos bomb does get placed on top of Wusa. Wusa does not get stunned up, though.
Oh, the ventilate comes in. Wusa with the Wish of Immortality, 3 turns of immunity backup, and the defense break from the Revenge on Kinky is putting Shizzy in a really bad place. Kinky with the big swing, and the Ragdoll soon to finish off that Sierra is putting Shizzy in a pretty unfavorable position.
Connell not able to do much with all these shields and immunity up on TrueWhale's side of the field. A little bit of poke damage coming towards Ganymede. Reckless Assault looking to take this Ganymede out of here. Is the shield going to be enough for it to hold on? It is, but the additional turn comes out of Molong, drops that Ganymede.
It's not looking good. The Violent Wusa does have a lot of potential, a lot of protection in here against this Carnal. Molong is going to go down, so there's going to be no defense break. This Carnal's going to have to fight through a Kinky and a Ragdoll, and it's not looking good at all.
Definitely not looking good at all. There's the death break sitting on top of Connell. He can go with a big skill too, removing Connell from the field. Not just yet. Connell can actually do a little bit here, but it's going to be very, very tough. Looking to get a little bit of damage on top of Wusa. Wusa still standing tall. Additional damage comes out for Connell. Connell, a little bit of poke damage. Can we get the death break onto this Wusa? He has to start dropping units. He has to start violent proc to be able to come back here, and that is not what's going to be happening. TrueWhale taking round 1 away from Shizzy.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough for Shizzy here. I don't think that the Chungpung was a really safe pick into that. So the Lulu comes out, the Ragdoll has a potential setup there, and the Kinky as well. So there's a lot of damage you need to output that you're not drafting in this situation. I think if Shizzy wants to take a win here, he's really going to have to deny the opportunity for TrueWhale to play a super safe turn 2.
Well, here's the pre-bans from last time. Pontos and Gianna getting pre-banned. Can Shizzy make the right decisions? Not being too far behind here. This is a round of 5. So we'll see if Shizzy can get an upset here and at least put one on the board. And we're going to see Ragdoll and Lulu getting pre-banned here.
I find it interesting that TrueWhale actually banned out the Lulu. I felt like Lulu would be one of the units that Shizzy picks and actually loses because he's taking too slow of a turn rotation, but I guess there's also the opportunity for Lulu to kind of proc here and there, and suddenly everything changes really quick.
Well, TrueWhale taking a very consistent unit, Okeanos, which if you've seen in most drafts here, Shizzy looking to respond after seeing that Okeanos. First 2 picks here is going to be a Gianna and a Ganymede.
A very open draft right now. There's a lot of flexibility here. Hagang can definitely come out. Pontos can definitely come out as well. We could see the Chungpung to take away and a Jogun. There's a lot of opportunities for TrueWhale. He has a lot of flexibility, but wants to lead in for the double speed lead. Takes the Sierra to deny the Sierra-Gianna combination.
Yep, there is a double speed lead. CR and Pontos. TrueWhale been taking this Pontos in a lot of his drafts. It's a very strong unit that a lot of people are going to be expecting to see. Shizzy looking to counter after seeing both of those speed leads.
I like the Chungpung here. I think the Chungpung actually is fairly good into this. He does risk the reset of the Oki on first turn. Didn't pick any speed lead, so he's taking a turn 2 control. Is gonna be a hard matchup. TrueWhale has either the AoE strip with the Water Ryu there, or has the AoE invincibility plus immunity from the Pontos.
Shizzy drafting that Chungpung with the Connell. My only issue seeing a Chungpung Connell is I feel like it was a little bit predictable here, but TrueWhale's going to be drafting that Fire Atmaster with that Water Ryu.
I like that he changed over to the Fire Master. The Savannah felt a little weaker in the situation that he didn't have 2 strippers, so the Okeanos felt weaker. We definitely know that Haegang's getting banned, but on the other side, do you think we're going to see the Jogun ban, or do you think we're going to see the Okeanos ban here?
I want to say we're going to be seeing a Jogun ban here. I feel like it's not something that Shizzy is well prepared for, but if we do see a Jogun ban, I don't think it hurts TrueWhale's team very much.
TrueWhale has a super strong draft here, has the multiple speed leads, has multiple control units actually, as well as that protection from the Pontos.
Drafting 3 speed leads for TrueWhale, but it looks like Okeanos is going to be the ban out here. Haegang is the confirmed ban for Shizzy. HP lead for Shizzy. Speed lead for TrueWhale. We're going into a round 2 between TrueWhale and Shizzy. Legend versus Legend. Hey Gang with the first turn. He's going to be landing this beautiful strip, and it does not land on everybody. Connell's able to resist.
Needs to land this stun from the Sierra Bomb onto... Oh, but gets the silence, but misses on the Chungpong. Needs to get the stun here. Needs to deny.
Misses on almost everybody. Only Gianna is holding on to that silence there, but Sierra's going to be placing a bomb on top of Ganymede, and we're all saying surprisingly lands that bomb on top of Ganymede. With the additional damage, dealing so much damage, that dot may be killing.
This is not ideal for TrueWhale. Might have been looking for that Water Ryu for Despair Stun there, but didn't land it on anybody. Ganny dies to the continuous damage. And I think that Shizzy has a lot of control here. The slow debuff and the stuns are going to be really effective.
Yep, Connell dealing a lot of damage, getting 2 stuns there on top of Water Ryu and that Pontos, getting the slows out on Ciara and Jogun.
Shizzy chooses not to hold on to the skill 2 of his Chungpong. Wants the defense break to set up for his Carnal. Could throw the Gianna skill 3.
Ready. Bomb does land on top of the Jogun. Jogun's going to be holding on to that. Little bit of additional damage going out onto the defense break and Pontos. Pontos looking very low right now. Connell can confirm kill on possibly Ponto. We might see a big damage on top of the Ciara. Ciara is going to be holding on, though. We see a second skill, which is going to be detonating that bomb. Is Jogun going to be dropping?
Interesting choice of the scroll there. I'm not sure why he went for the scroll and Gianna, maybe to deny the bomb, but the Carnal seems to be extremely strong in this draft. Carnal is going to be taking down Sierra here alongside the Chungpong.
Nope, TrueWhale definitely saw that one coming and end up conceding the match to Shizzy. Shizzy taking round 2 away from TrueWhale.
I think for the third match, I want to see a better control setup. I don't think that the Sierra was exactly necessary in that draft. Had he continued with the Sierra, I think that instead of the Water Ryu, he had picked a more aggressive stripper. Even the Chiwu, I think, could have been a little more aggressive just for the pushback.
Well, we've got our new pre-bans coming out. Pontos is going to be pre-banned. Gianna is going to be pre-banned for Shizzy. Shizzy's got first pick. Let's see what he's going to be taking away from TrueWhale. He was favoring the Okeanos in the second match. TrueWhale took away from him. He's going to be taking that Oki back, and he is. First pick for Shizzy is Okeanos.
There it is. Back to the same thing as last time. Takes the Ganymede and Lulu. Wants that really strong turn 2 team. Shizzy leaning in for the same thing, though. Picks up the Carnal and the Chungpong, has the stripper, but might need to lean towards picking up a secondary stripper this time, unlike last time.
Yep, Shizzy drafting that very strong pair right there. We're looking at a Connell and a Chungpong TrueWhale locking in Ragdoll and one other unit. It is going to be Molong.
I like the Molong here. Molong denies Shizzy from a really strong snipe opportunity and is also very, very good with this turn 2 control. Has the strip with it, has a defense break for the Ragdoll.
Oh, Shizzy's got 2 other picks here. After seeing Ragdoll and Molong coming out, going to be curious what Shizzy's going to be wrapping up his draft here.
I think if he doesn't pick a second stripper here, then TrueWhale's going to go for the same thing, pick the Wusa again, and then ban out the single target stripper.
Heavy fire use out of Shizzy. He's going to be drafting a speed lead with Chiwu, but also speed lead with that Han as well. TrueWhale, he's going to be picking a Volantis. Does he choose to lock in the Volantis? I think the Volantis is a very good unit.
Volantis is a pretty incredible pick. The new change to his passive, giving him attack bar and revenge at that 50% is really strong. Plus the glancing debuff. The glancing debuff has a lot of value against against pretty much everybody on this team. It's incredibly good versus the Han. You miss a crit, you don't get that extra turn.
Yeah, glancing is a fantastic debuff to really help mitigate damage against his opponent, but it looks like Ragdoll's going to be the one getting banned out on TrueWhale's side of the field. Okeanos getting banned out on Shizzy. Speed lead for Shizzy, HP lead for TrueWhale. Is it going to be enough? Can he hold off the onslaught and the big damage coming from this Han? We're about to find out as we get into round 3 with TrueWhale and Shizzy. We've got Chiwu looking for a full team strip and attack bar pushback. And we've got third skill coming out for Chungpong, reducing the attack bar and getting the reset on TrueWhale.
Oh, but no control on this Lulu. Needs to hit the defense break. Simple solution. Goes into the Ganny instead. Wants to play it safe. Wants to take out that Ganny.
Yep, Shizzy's able to remove a unit from the field, and that is what Han is great at. It's able to deal massive damage with that defense break, and it's also built on Violent, capitalizing on so much damage. Lulu looking very, very low right now. Chiwu finishing off that Ganymede, and we've got Changpeng hovering over second, but no, TrueWhale read it, and there you have it. Round 3 is going to Shizzy.
I'm interested to see what was on that Volantis. It didn't run Will, so he built it specifically so that it wouldn't be pushed back as far from the Chiwu, but at the same time, it also didn't revenge, so he didn't get the value. I think he may have been relying on a coin flip there, but maybe there's some hidden tech that we're unsure of.
This is where these two players know each other very well. The new pre-ban's coming out. It's going to be Ragdoll and Lulu. Can TrueWhale bounce back, or is Shizzy going to get the upset, taking down the TrueWhale?
TrueWhale needs to really lock down those safe drafts. Has a lot of potential for fast safe drafts, but Shizzy is just denying it by taking that Ganymede away early on.
Oh, Shizzy's going to be locking in Gianna and Ganymede. TrueWhale kind of dancing around a little bit. We saw the Ciara, we saw the Pontos. Is that what he's going to be locking into?
If he wants to take the Sierra, I don't think he should take the Pontos. He should take the Pontos in the last set of drafts, just because he leaves himself open to not having enough strippers and not having enough single target damage right now.
Well, Shizzy looking to respond after seeing that double speed lead once again. CR Pontos coming out. Interesting that both these players are really second-guessing a lot of their picks here. We're seeing many units pop up, and then what they choose to lock in, they're taking up all 30 seconds here. Han comes out for Shizzy, and then we've got the Connell as well. TrueWhale hovering another speed lead once again. We've got Water Ryu, and we've got Changpeng. Looks like is what he's going to lock in for TrueWhale.
The only fear I have in this situation is if he double locks these in, Chiwu last pick is really good into this. He's most likely going to outspeed either with the Chiwu or with the Speedly Gianna.
Well, here we go. Shizzy does lock in his own speed lead. It is the Chiwu. Bans are coming out.
Yeah, this devastating Han-Gianna combination possibly could go through in this match.
And there you have it. Bans are out. Water Ryu's getting banned. And we have the Connell getting banned out as well. Speed leads for both teams. We're going to find out who's faster in round 4 with Chiwu. Wow. Shizzy and TrueWhale.
The first turn goes to the Chiwu. Shizzy does get first turn. But misses
Shizzy
the
not getting the
strip on
full
Sierra.
strip.
This actually could be
Misses it
ideal.
on Ciara. Gianna looking to place a bomb here, maybe even lock down the Ciara herself. Bomb's coming out on top of Okeanos. Third skill might be coming out to drop, take the Ciara down.
Wants to save it though. Knows that he's going to get outsped by the Okeanos. Can't seal the Pontos, so immunity will come up if the Han can't shut down the Pontos in the first turn.
That's right. Lanzak glancing on top of Changpeng. We're going to see a third skill coming out, dealing a lot of damage, possibly onto this Pontos. No, choosing to go for the Okeanos to make sure that bomb does eliminate a unit from the field. He's going to with the big skill too. Gets the stun on top of Okeanos with an additional turn, finishing off that Okeanos even though the bomb was already there.
Really needed that additional turn to kill, though. That Pontos would have cleansed with the skill 3 and would have kept the Okeanos alive. So Shizzy's pretty lucky in this situation, but it's not over yet for TrueWhale. TrueWhale does still have a cleanse into that Changpeng opportunity. A lot of damage could come through.
TrueWhale getting pretty lucky himself, landing a bomb on top of Gianna. We're going to see a big skill too coming out for Changpeng. No additional turn, though. We're going to see a third skill happening with Pontos getting the immunity and invincibility up here.
Chiwu still has the strip, though. Needs to hit both debuffs, possibly to get this Han some rotations to get in here.
Oof, looking for a skill too to remove the immunity on top of that. The top of that Changpeng not receiving it here. Ventilate might be coming back onto what I want to say the Chiwu. No, goes and puts the Ventilate onto the Han. We're going to see a third skill coming out, resetting, reducing attack bar of everybody on Shizzy's side of the field. Additional turn coming out of CR. We're going to see a bomb getting placed on top of Han. Bomb does land. He's going to be finishing up Gianna with the first skill. Skill 2 for the Silent on top of Shizzy. Does not get the silence with Ganny, though.
This Sierra rotation of bombs is going to have a lot of value. This Han's going to go down. Most likely Sierra's not going to die. And I don't think this Chiwu-Ganny combination will actually be able to deal with the Sierra on the field right now.
Yep, we're going to find out. Looking for glancing to land on CR. Does get the glancing. Another bomb's coming out here. Is it going to be enough to drop Shizzy's units here? Bomb does land on top of Chiwu. He chooses to detonate it, putting Shizzy in a really bad place. The additional turn. TrueWhale taking round 4. We're going into a game 5 between the two of them.
That was quite the comeback. Quite the comeback. The speeds really show on TrueWhale's team. So if you saw, he actually managed to outspeed after the double strippers with the Okeanos. The skill 3 that Chiwu put out actually didn't push back the Okeanos. So managed to get the reset on the Ganny and then had to play out that lucky turn with the Han. Got the violent proc to kill the Okeanos, denied the Pontos, but still at the end couldn't do enough. Chungpong getting that turn really denied.
Additional turns being very, very strong throughout that match. If Han kept Violent Proc, it would have been over. There's no way that TrueWhale would be able to come back with all the damage coming from Han, but pre-bans are out again. Pontos is going to be gone. Gianna is going to be pre-banned out as well. Shizzy's first pick is the Okeanos, the first pick that they've been going back and forth with.
Interesting to see once you get higher up in these ranks, Okeanos becomes really valuable again. You know, possibly moving before a lot of your units, you know, having that Swift build. He is still an incredibly strong Swift carrier.
TrueWhale drafting that, the Kinky and Ragdoll this time. Shizzy with the Hey Gang Ganymede drafting 2 other units. We're going to see a Savannah Mo Long coming out for Shizzy.
This is looking like a really good Diana opportunity for TrueWhale. A lot of the AoEs here is going to give the Diana shield to come up and really protect a lot of his units from that Molong snipe, but leans towards the Leo pick. Leo pick also being exceptionally strong here. Could use it to deny the Savannah, the skill 3, and the attack bar pushback.
Yep, and Leo is definitely going to be that ban. Shizzy immediately bans out that Leo. TrueWhale bans out that Okeanos. Accuracy lead for Shizzy. We've got a defense lead on the side of TrueWhale, but here we go, guys. This is game 5. Winner takes all. Winners moving forward. Losers going to the loser bracket. Let's find out who's going to be that victor in this match. Chungpong with a big second skill, looking to get these strips out here.
Saves the skill 2, doesn't want to push the attack bar of the team, but the defense break from Hagang onto the Lulu and no extra turn means immunity is not up. The defense break can hit here onto the Kinky.
Defense break sitting across TrueWhale's team. Not looking good already. We're going to see a third skill, and that reset's going to dump the attack bar of all of TrueWhale's units. Definitely putting them on the back foot for sure. Not looking good for TrueWhale. Possible Reckless Assault coming out on this Lulu, or is he going to go for a second skill? Chooses to go for second skill. Only stun remains on top of the Chungpong with the revenge of Kinky not landing Death Break on top of Molong.
I think this Chungpong is on Swift as well. I was going to hope for an extra turn there if TrueWhale wanted to have the advantage, but I think it's actually too fast to be on a violent build.
I think TrueWhale's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He has to limit the HP of this Molong because the Reckless Assault's going to be coming out and eliminating probably this Ragdoll on the field. Big skill too, coming out trying to knock Savannah right off the mount. Does so, but here is the Reckless Assault that he was waiting for. He's going to be dropping Ragdoll here for sure.
It might not be enough though. It's pretty close. With the damage reduction built into the passive, it might not be there.
And he chooses
Hopefully
against the Reckless Assault, not wanting to do it. Chungpong with third skill, getting the reset on top of Molong, able to hold on just a little longer. We've got Glancing with Death Break sitting on top of this Kinky. Kinky going for the big skill too. If it's built on Despair, there is no Despairs there. Savannah looking to pump a little bit of damage into the Chungpong. Chungpong still standing tall. We see Ragdoll finishing off Savannah here.
Yeah, it's really nice that this Kinky, actually not being on Despair, but being on Vampire, managed to get some life back from that skill 2, protecting itself from the Molong. Even if Molong skill 3 does manage to snipe out this Ragdoll, he's not going to have the damage to deal with Kinky. It's really leaning towards a 3-2 for TrueWhale right now.
I think it is. We get the Death Break Glancing on top of all of Shizzy's units here. Glancing does land on Ragdoll. It's going to help limit some damage. Gets the Death Break. We see the additional turn coming out. Does he choose to do the Reckless Assault or does he not?
I don't think he can. I think he needs to save it for the Kinky. There's no other way for him to kill this Kinky but to really throw a Reckless at it.
Definitely saves it here. Does not finish off that Chongpong. Chongpong still holding on here. Kinky looking to remove some units from the field. No additional turns coming out. Probably definitely built on Despair. Ragdoll looking to finish off the Ganymede. Does not do so with that glancing. We're going to see some attack bar pushback, and it is denied on the Chongpong.
Molong skill 2. The skill 2 Prayer of Heroes. Does he hit the stun on the Kinky? He does hit the stun on the Kinky. He outspeeds the Ragdoll, so now it's a Kinky 1v3.
It is a Kinky 1v3 here. He has to go with the third skill to reduce the attack bar of this Kinky. Is it going to be enough? He needs to have this Reckless Assault deal as much damage as possible. Looking for a stun with second skill. He needs to get the Death Break on top of the Kinky. That is the only way that Shizzy can win this, or else TrueWhale may get... Oh, it doesn't matter! Shizzy is taking round 5 away from TrueWhale.
That is amazing in our first qualifier match. He's making it to the America's Cup. It's your Legend 15 finisher. It's Shizzy that takes down the highest rated player in the tournament. What a hell of a game, y'all. That was amazing. And it went all the way to 5. And I thought after game 4, Shizzy gets to ban out the Ragdoll. He's good to go. He has to forfeit that one. And then this last one goes all the way to the end. I mean, you heard it. Once in Love, you said it yourself, man. It was like, yeah, this looks like 3-2. The Kinky's going to be okay. You know, everyone is glancing. Like, what a match between two competitors that put in the time, that put in the research, and Shizzy gets this one done. That has to be one of the most exciting matches that I've seen in SWC so far from last year and this year. What a bar to be set. And now Shizzy is our first representative into the America's Cup. He'll have his opportunity to represent America at SWC after America's Cup. We'll see what he does. Again, let's take a look at that action one more time. A 5-set match here between these two competitors, Stoic.
Yeah, definitely. We were expecting to see a 5-set match here. We're talking about two legendary players going after it, and round 1, TrueWhale was able to take it. Shizzy started to make his comeback here. Shizzy did very, very well. We saw a lot of meta-relevant units coming out here. We saw the Carnival, we saw the Chongpong, we saw Ganymede, who's been in all of SWC's, Ganymede being a key unit, being able to reduce the attack bar of everybody, getting those resets, and even the glancing coming off that first skill, limiting so much damage, because even in that final match, Ragdoll was not able to finish off of a unit because of that glancing being on top of him, and just Mo Long doing exactly what he needs to do, and that's eliminating units.
Right? Mo Long coming through huge here for Shizzy. Once in Love. That was just a banger. I can't think of another word other than that between
it was.
two
absolutely
worthy opponents here. What were your thoughts on it?
There was actually one move very specifically that I think that TrueWhale lost the match on. When his glanced Ragdoll went in to hit the Ganymede, he didn't use skill 2. He thought his skill 1 would do enough damage. Didn't kill the Ganymede with Ragdoll. Ganymede ventilated the Molong, and the game was over. Given to say, getting the stun with Molong twice like that is on the luckier side, but every tiny error like that could cost you a whole match. And in this situation, it cost him the first ticket to SWC NA.
Yeah, it did. Well, we got our first ticket booked. Again, one more time, congratulations to Shizzy for getting it done. As we take a look at the bracket again, not the end of the road here for TrueWhale. A heartbreaker indeed. He'll have an opportunity to go ahead and bounce back in the lower bracket next week. But we got one more ticket to punch. I hope it's as exciting as our last match there. You see right here, Zefarious, FAINTMEMORY. These two took care of business as well. These two have a little bit of history, both qualifying before in the Cup and the preliminaries. And now these two can't both make it through. It'll only be one of them. Let's take a look at Zefarious first and his journey here, Stoic.
Well, Zefarious bringing in a lot of key plays, a lot of great units, and a lot of great drafting. Zefarious was showing off basically that experiences that he's had in SWC. He's showing that he's been here before, he's comfortable here, and got the big victory over BigV. Zefarious he's just well experienced, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Is we're seeing someone who's very, very comfortable.
Yeah, definitely so here. Thoughts on Zefarious' opportunity and chance here to make it on through Once in Love?
Zefarious fighting Faint Memory. It's fighting a big wall. You have one of the most unique and brilliant players out there. I think that Zefarious has a pretty good advantage having the Gianna. It's definitely a very good piece in the ban. I think for this match, it really comes down to who gets first pick. I think first pick advantage with the ban will favor that player quite a bit.
All right, well, let's take a look at the other player that'll be fighting for first pick advantage. FAINTMEMORY, again, one of the most brilliant minds in the game from the America's Cup. Been here so many different times, almost as qualified as the America's Cup champion or representative. He took care of business against Jsss. It wasn't too stressful here by FAINTMEMORY. It feels like him picking up his light unit, normally known as the non-LD user, gave him control, and he didn't even have to use it too much. The more, again, taking care of business there for Faint. So, again, FAINTMEMORY has the opportunity to continue to add to his legacy here, Stoic.
Yep, that's right. I mean, FAINTMEMORY played a friend, and now he's playing a fellow guildmate as well going into this last match here. FAINTMEMORY with just all the comfort in the world with how he drafts and how he handles this game and how he reads into a draft as well. So FAINTMEMORY, just as Zefarious with the experience, but a lot more experience on the side of FAINTMEMORY.
All right, well, prediction time, yo. Once in love, who you got? FAINTMEMORY moving on through. We got Zefarious booking his ticket to the America's Cup.
I think I'm actually going to go with FAINTMEMORY again. I think he has a lot of little tricks up his sleeve that are still effective, and we still haven't seen them all.
Stoic.
We've seen a lot of RNG today. And if things go the way they go, I think Zefarious might take this one.
Oh, all right, there we go. We got the split desk here. Zefarious on one side, FAINTMEM on the other. The players are ready to go. We got that ticket hot and ready. Who are we giving it to? Let's find out. Let's hope it lives up to the same hype that last fight did. For the call, Stoic, once in love, taking us away. We've got that final ticket on the line.
That's right. This is our final ticket. It's either going to be Zefarious or FAINTMEMORY. We're getting into a round one with a best of 5 pre-bans. Coming out now, Gianna and Kinky getting pre-banned out in this first match.
So first pick going to FAINTMEMORY. We're going to see the Okeanos that a lot of the players have been taking first, or we're going to see a Sierra wants to deny the speed lead opportunity. And there it is, the Okeanos instead.
Ooh, these guys are very quick to drafting. Okeanos being a first pick for many people, so FAINTMEMORY naturally locks in that Okeanos. Zefarious locking in the Kanal and that Changpeng very quickly as well. FAINTMEMORY looking to a speed lead, going to be drafting CR in one other unit.
I'm ready to see the Lulu. It's going to happen. It happens all the time. FAINTMEMORY. Is he going to take the ladder draft, the common pick, or is he going different and actually picks the way I like to pick, takes the Hagang instead of the Lulu and wants to go aggressive here?
Yeah, we see the Hay Gang coming out for FAINTMEMORY. And we've got Zefarious looking to respond with the second round here.
A lot of opportunity here. Could pick speed leads, could pick another stripper. There's the Moore and the Ganny. Pretty standard again.
Yep, Zefarious taking his own version of a speed lead here. We got Moore and we've got Ganny. Ganny being very consistent into so many drafts and an excellent unit to be pairing up with that Kanal and Changpeng. FAINTMEMORY hovering over Chloe and locks in Win Ryu. We have not seen a Win Ryu yet.
We've never seen a Win Ryu anywhere. It's absolutely incredible. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Comp to Us version, there's the Kashmir unit, has a strip into defense break, big damage. I don't know how well this is going to play out. I did talk about the pocket picks, but this is something I never would have expected in a million years.
It's something we didn't expect, but it's something we always expect from FAINTMEMORY. Expect the unexpected. Zefarious wraps up his draft with a Juno. Bans are coming out, and it's going to be Moore getting banned out for Zefarious, and we have the Hay Gang getting banned out for FAINTMEMORY.
Kashmir going through. Let's see the value of this Kashmir going in.
And here we go, guys. We've got round one between FAINTMEMORY and Zefarious. We've got FAINTMEMORY with first turn resets coming out onto the Changpeng, and it does land true. And we're about to see this Win Ryu.
Win Ryu outputting quite a bit of damage into that Juno. Triple crits, hits for 18k, but she does get the counter, so she will move ahead. But sadly, the Chloe could move in here, but Chloe with the additional turn.
Chloe with a massive additional turn, getting invincibility and immunity up here. Was not expecting how much damage we saw from this Winru, especially onto a Juno here. But we're going to see the bomb does land on top of the Juno, looking to finish off that Juno. Juno still holding on, though.
What is happening? Gets the revenge into the Despair Stone on the Chloe. Chloe gets the Violent proc, puts up immunity, and everything just seems to be landing. Kashmir here is going to take out the Juno, and this is going to be a very Faint Memory sided match right now.
Yeah, Faint Memory really needs to remove that unit, but he goes for the branding effect on top of the Chung Peng.
Like you said, RNG Stoic. RNG not in Zefarious' favor, though. Goes for the skill 2 strip with Chung Peng and hits nobody.
Yep, Ganny with the Seal of Magic drops that CR. CR is going to be gone now. Looking for a glancing. Cantling glancing through immunity. A little bit of damage towards that Wind Ryu. We see that third skill also dealing lots of damage, but we see a nice additional turn coming out of this Connell. Connell looking to pummel some sweet damage into that Wind Ryu. Wind Ryu does hold on, though.
Wind Ryu playing it out. Big damage, big opportunities. Still has the immunity on it, though.
Should be seeing a ventilate back onto. No, I'm sorry, no ventilates be coming out here. Looking to apply a glancing to the Okeanos. Wind Ryu landing that branding effect on top of Ganny. Big third skill coming out with Connell trying to deal some damage here. Wind Ryu once again is holding on.
Wind Ryu most likely going down here. Carnal with the skill 3, again with the ventilate. No violent proc from Chloe means no immunity to protect from this.
But he does get the stun on top of that Okeanos. There's the reset, goes out onto the Chloe with the additional turn, looking to apply some glancing on a Chloe. Chloe trying to do all it can with that first skill, which heals itself. And we've got second skill coming out of the Connell onto the Okeanos. We're going to see a ventilate back to Connell, but a skill 2 just to sustain just a little bit. Third skill coming out to deal massive damage to Faint Memory's team. Does he get the stun where he needs it? No, but a little bit more damage comes out.
Connell comes into the Sword of Gluttony. Is it enough to take it out? It is, and the extra turn for the Salt and the Wounds. 4 extra turns here for Zefarious, so maybe the RNG lost on the Chung Peng was gained back between the Ganymede and the Carnal.
Yep, maybe exactly that. Zefarious taking round 1 away from Faint Memory.
That was a pretty grim-looking match. I really thought that once that Juno went down, that Faint Memory had a really big advantage there, but Zefarious just managed to bring it back, had a lot of ability to control the Okeanos there at the end, just obliterated him with the Ganny skill 2 ventilate.
New pre-bans coming out. We've got Chung Peng and Lulu getting pre-banned here in this second match.
There it is, the traded first pick every single match. Okeanos comes through. So Okeanos for Zefarious. Faint Memory responds, takes the Sierra and the Hagang, wants that first turn stripper, wants the protection from the AoE strip, knows the Chung Peng isn't on the field, knows that Zefarious has the Gianna combination as well.
Zefarious needs to draft 2 more units to counter the CR Hagang that he sees out of Faint Memory. Zefarious looking at picking up a Water Ryu, a Moor, and a Ganymede.
Very safe, flexible control draft right now. Faint Memory leaning in, takes the Fire Emb Bison or the Carnal that Zefarious took last round and alongside his Kinky.
Definitely a strong, aggressive draft coming out of Faint Memory. Zefarious maybe looking to lock in a little bit more control, not having a Death Break to help deal a little bit more damage on top of this Kinky, but no need for a Death Break when you got bombs coming from his Gianna, and we see a Water Monkey King, the Shihao, coming out for Zefarious.
Interesting pick on the Shio here. Might be actually using it for the invincibility hits into the Kinky. Can't, if you revenge into the invincibility, you don't actually gain any life back, so.
Faint Memory going to be wrapping up his draft with a Fran. Bans are going to be coming out here. Attack buff Kinky Ciara Bombs is going to be very dangerous, but Zefarious is going to be letting that through. Bans come out, and the Hagang is going to be banned. Gianna's getting banned out. Speed leads for both teams. Here we go, guys. We've got round 2 between Zefarious and Faint Memory.
I'm interested to see if this Fran's on double Nemesis or not. It could be. Could have 2 Frans ready for Zefarious' Water Ryu. Doesn't want to take the risk. Doesn't want to go into that Fran.
Definitely doesn't. Looking at a third skill, gets the full team strip with the additional turn coming out here. Might go with the first skill so he doesn't have to worry about the revenge of this Kinky dealing some damage here. Goes with a nice second skill, getting the reset on top of Ciara. You can see that third skill, Seal of Magic, landing on the Fire Bison, reduce the attack bars of everybody. Fran is going to get some immunity and attack buff up here. Water Ryu looking to get the full team strip, and there it is, that Nemesis Fran boosting up and getting a turn to cut here.
The nice thing here is the revenge defense break on the Water Ryu. He's looking like he could go down pretty quickly here, either the Sierra skill 1s or the Kinky skill 2 for the big damage. The attack buff on that Kinky is going to hit really hard.
Looking very scary for that Water Ryu, but looks like Zefarious is going to get that Fran down here with the additional turn as well. A little bit of poke damage coming towards that Fire Bison. Reventilates back onto that Water Ryu, so he's got that second skill. We're going to see Ciara trying to cycle a little bit of attack bar on that Shihao.
Nice safety there with the ventilate onto the Water Ryu. Wants the passive back. But here it is. Kinky skill 1. Was it enough to kill the Water Ryu? And he goes for it, and it is not enough. Hits it for 10k. Has the opportunity for the skill 2. Lands the strip on 1. Attack buff is still up on Sierra, though.
And there you have it. Okeanos coming in with a big second skill, looking to get a reset, possibly onto that Fire Bison. Choosing to go with the third skill for additional damage there. Gets the Sun on top of the Ciara. Glancing might be coming out on top of Ciara. Is he going to try and remove this Fire Bison from the field?
A bit of a risky setup, but he goes for it. He goes for the stun. Could have been defense broken by the Kinky there. Would have been pretty tragic. Ganymede, will he get the Violent Proc? No Violent Proc for Ganny. Glancing on the Bison, though, does actually give him a little bit of value, less attack bar pushback. But the
Zefarious looking like he does not have enough damage to take out this Kinky here. Bomb does land on top of the Ganymede, and it looks like Okeanos going to be dropping here. There's the concede, and Faint Memory takes round 2 away from, I was going to say Shizzy. Zefarious.
Really smart play by Zefarious, though. Recognized that the ban went out on the Gianna because it was a Nemesis. Fran chose not to use the strip on first turn. Waited until after to try to strip, but didn't manage to take away the immunity. A little bit unlucky on Zefarious' side, but still well drafted and well played on both player sides.
That pre-bans from last time, but now we have a Gianna and Kinky coming out for a pre-ban going into round 3 with Zefarious and Faint Memory. First pick with Faint Memory. We're going to see that Okeanos once again going back and forth.
I don't know. Faint Memory likes to do a lot of different things, but playing it safe this time takes the Oki.
Definitely takes that Oki. Zefarious taking Connell and the Chung Pong. Faint Memory taking double speed lead. We're seeing the CR and the Moa coming out.
It was a very confident pick. I'm curious as to if he knows what else is coming from Zefarious. We'll lock both of those units in almost immediately.
Well, Zefarious is going to be taking a Samath here, the Water Fairy King, with that Hay Gang.
Has to pick something pretty quick here. Zefarious could pick out Shiwu last to control. And the Hay Gang ban is most likely what's necessary, although the Water Ryu could have been a bait for the Hay Gang, maybe not actually needing it overall.
Faint Memory really liking this Chloe draft. We're seeing it again, and also with a Ganymede. Ganymede just being such a great unit to be paired up with just about anybody here. Having the double reset with Ganymede and Okeanos. Zefarious looking to respond after seeing these last 2 units.
Fran comes out interesting. So Zefarious has his own Fran. Not sure if that's possibly another Nemesis technique build, or it could be on Violent. Violent is pretty strong on Fran still if you have the opportunity for it.
The ban's going to be coming out shortly. We've got speed leads for both teams, but we've got a 33 speed lead for Zefarious. And it looks like Hay Gang and Chloe are going to be the bans. And like there it is, speed leads coming out for both of them. Is Zefarious going to get the edge on Faint Memory in this next match?
Looks like Faint Memory is running a Despair Water Ryu, actually, or a Despair more in this situation. Does not get the reset, though, onto the Fran with the Okeanos skill 2.
Does not get that reset at all. Looking for a full team strip, and we don't have that strip on top of the Ciara here, but we may see a big third skill coming out to get a little bit of control onto Faint Memory's team.
Ooh, but 2 good stuns and the slow debuffs land on both the Okeanos and the Ganymede. A lot of control there. Fran takes the bomb. The extra turn from Sierra.
Fran's going to go down here with the bomb from Ciara. Overwhelm coming out from Sama, trying to get a full team reset here. Bomb lands on top of the Condal. Chung Peng looking for some big damage here. Not looking good for Faint Memory. I think Zefarious is going to be taking this one here. His team is just looking too low, not having the sustain to get his team back. Ciara going to be doing all she can with the additional turns, additional attack bar gain here, looking to drop this Chung Peng. It does not do it. Sama landing glancing, removing Okeanos from the field, and it is just a lonely Ciara. Is it going to be enough?
Ciara could. The glancing potential could exist. Does Ciara take it from here? And there's the glancing.
Oh, Ciara might be able to take it here. Bomb lands, and there you go. Round 3 goes to Fate Memory.
Wow, absolutely incredible. The 50-50 there on the Samoth at the end to really comfort that return damage. Didn't actually glance, but didn't crit. Elemental disadvantage, removing 15% crit. Pretty unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate setup.
It was very, very unfortunate. It was very lucky for Faint Memory, though. But that's what we're looking at here. We're seeing a lot of this RG going back and forth. It was very grim for Faint Memory for a very long time, but he held on. Pre-bans are coming out. We've got Connell pre-banned, and we've got Lulu pre-banned here.
It's really nice to be watching these finals here. None of them have really felt super one-sided. It's been very back and forth. It's been a lot of really good energy on both sides, great drafting, and just a lot of really exciting gameplay.
I couldn't agree more. Zefarious taking this Okeanos like we've seen it time after time, just going back and forth. Faint Memory taking that Ciara, getting a speed lead himself with a Hay Gang alongside with it.
So seeing that Gianna pick, we're most likely going to see the Hay Gang ban. So Faint Memory has a lot of opportunity to pick very aggressively here into Zefarious.
Yep, Zefarious bringing that Chung Peng with the Gianna as well. Faint Memory looking at an additional speed lead, bringing out the more and one other pick here. We're going to see the Chloe, and we do. He locks in that Chloe once again.
Chloe's just a great pick in these situations. We really like how, you know, the high base speed as well as 3-turn immunities. Quite underrated in this setup.
It must be, because we've been seeing a lot of this Chloe action. Zefarious looking at taking a Diana here, which is signaling he's letting both those water units through.
It does make me wonder, though, if people are going to start drafting the Chloe pretty regularly in RTA after seeing Mr. Faint Memory play it. But there's the last pick. Locks in the Diana. Locks in the Light Sylvia, Ileana.
Well, Faint Memory can win this best of 5. We may be seeing a lot more Chloe from here on. Zefarious wrapped up his draft with that Diana and the Ileana. Faint Memory is going to be bringing back this Win Ryu.
Wants the Win Ryu, the strip, basically a Wind Daphnis kind of setup here. I think we're going to be leaning towards the Diana ban. And there it is. There's the Diana ban.
Diana ban, and then the Hay Gang ban. Speed lead and accuracy lead for Zefarious. Very interesting, guys. We've got a fantastic match ahead of us. Can Zefarious hold on, or can Faint Memory get the 3-1 victory? We're seeing Wind Ryu coming out trying to deal a little bit of damage to that Gianna.
But the resistance denies him the extra turns. No strip means no defense break, means no third skill. And it's going to be looking kind of rough here. The double stun comes out from Gianna.
Yeah, it means no bomb as well. Ciara trying to land a bomb herself, and it does land on top of the Gianna. He's got to blow that up so it doesn't get cleansed out here. And we're going to see a third skill coming out with, second skill coming out for Chung Peng. Rain of Stones to stun up everybody on Fate Memory's side of the field. Is this skill 2 going to be enough here? Does land that reset on top of Chloe. Briefing's coming out to get the skill 3 once again with Chung Peng. A lot of damage, a lot of additional damage coming out. Not looking good for Fate Memory. We get the additional turn. We can only heal himself here. Zefarious taking round 4. We're going into a game 5.
Another game 5 for another great series. It's a little sad seeing the Wind Ryu go into that Gianna and missing, though. That could have actually changed up that match entirely. Denying the Gianna the skill 3 on the first turn leaves a lot of opportunity for the Chloe to play around that Chung Peng.
Yeah, it's really tough. Put a lot of weight into that one unit to get him off to a really good stat, and that did not happen here. But we've got new pre-bans here. We've got Gianna getting pre-banned, and that Kinky once again getting pre-banned out.
Unsure if Faint Memory wants the Oki, but goes for it again. It's a pretty safe pick for a lot of these guys. Knows it's a very strong draft pickup for Zefarious.
Yep, Okeanos, like we said before, one of the most picked units. Okeanos being a first pick unit throughout all of this tournament today. Zefarious going to be taking that CR and Hagang as well. Counter picks coming out of Faint Memory after seeing this too. Is he going to be changing it up? Or are we going to see something familiar?
Interesting. Both players swapping up play styles. We see the Okeanos into the Sierra Hagang, and then we see it on the other side now. Zefarious taking that Sierra Hagang opportunity. Faint Memory, though, taking a non-meta pick there with the speed lead Vanessa to go along with his Chongpong.
We're going to see that 33 speed lead. Vanessa with the Chongpong. Zefarious looking to draft. After seeing that 33 speed lead, are we going to see the return of his Samath? And we might be.
I don't know if I actually like the Carnal Ganny here. I think that the Carnal is good, but I'm not sure how I feel about picking Ganny into this. Wants the Ganny for the reset, but doesn't give him so much opportunity for a second stripper. So this Fran could be a preemptive pick into a Water Ryu, but it's a little risky if he does something like that.
Zefarious locking in two units that were well expected, the Connell and that Ganymede, of course. Faint Memory bringing in a little bit of sustain for his team, the Fran, and of course more for an additional speed lead in case that Vanessa does get banned out here with the 33. Zefarious looking to wrap up his draft with just one last unit.
Zefarious could definitely pick up either a Juno or a Diana here. I think both would be pretty effective. Leads different bands, but there's the Juno. Zefarious having that incredibly strong despair set on her.
Yep, Zefarious bringing in that Juno. Juno being an interesting pick here. Hagang is going to be taking the ban, though, and the Chongpong on the side of Faint Memory taking the ban. 33 speed lead for Faint Memory, 24 speed lead for Zefarious. Is it going to be enough? We're about to find out who's going to be moving forward in this best of 5. Let's go.
I'm interested to see if this Vanessa is like crazy high damage. I don't know if he has enough potential to really control, but missing the strip reset on the Ganymede is a little bit unfortunate here. Needs the
very unfortunate missing that strip reset on top of Ganymede. Big strip though on top of the Connell and the Ciara as well. Bomb cannot be placed out here. Possibly going for a little bit of damage on top of this Fran, but choosing to go for the Okeanos instead. Vanessa looking to get a nice def break on somebody, capitalize with that attack buff, dealing a lot of damage, no additional turn coming out.
Gets 2 strips, but doesn't take it away from the Oki or the Vanessa. Vanessa will be protected from this Ganymede skill 3 reset, but Fran is going to eat that bomb and probably go down. Does he proc the passive now, or does he just rotate?
And there you have to get that big stun on top of Fran. Fran does have that skill too to cleanse up that bomb. Keep in mind the passive for Vanessa is still up, so whatever unit does fall will be revived back, and there you have it. It is revived back. We see Juno popping up and healing up just a little bit for its team.
Vanessa's going to have a skill 1 into skill 2. Big defense break with the attack buff. Maybe a violent proc 2 for extra damage. And there it is. There's the violent proc for the extra damage. Ganny taking a ton right now. Another miss.
A lot of damage coming towards Ganny. It's definitely not in a good position for Zefarious. He's got the Ciara, though. No more immunity on the side of Faint Memory. Looking for the attack bar reduction. Does not get the attack bar reduction. Onto the Water Ryu. Water Ryu with the big skill, too. Looking to push back attack bars. Possibly Despair Stun not receiving it. Death Break sitting atop of Ciara. Ciara not looking good. Trying to get what damage he can with this Juno.
Juno managed to land the Despair Stun on Oki, but a big damage crit from that Moore actually pushes Sierra into a very low position. Has attack break. That bomb's not going to hit super hard, but this Vanessa might be on the squishier side.
Ooh, it's not going to be mattering here. There it is. Big second skill. And there you have it. Faint Memory breaking the curse, winning round 5 and moving forward in today's America's Cup.
You know, it was just a couple America's Cups ago where we pulled up stats of players and Faint Memory's luck was 0. But this time, he had more than enough luck to get on through, wins the best of 5 here against Zefarious, and books his ticket to America's Cup. Deservedly so. Both best of 5s were fantastic. Both players that weren't able to get over the hump put up a hell of a fight. Zefarious so close, but Faint Memory, you open up the mind and see what it's like, and you're just so confused on like, where is this Wind Ryu coming from? What is this doing? Like, I didn't even know this unit existed. Thank you, Once in Love, for knowing exactly what it did and teaching us what it did right on the spot there. But man, and I love the fact that FAINTMEMORY pulls it out on game 1. He's like, hey, I know there's 5 games. Each game matters, but I'm going to do it my way. He gets it done. Let's take a look at it one more time in the replay here, Stoic. But FAINTMEMORY, getting over the hump here, man.
Yeah, definitely. In that first match, we saw Winryu do amazing things, and I was thinking to myself, maybe I have to build this unit. But now I think I just want to build the Chloe, and not so much that Winryu yet. But a lot of great performances out of FAINTMEMORY, as it was expected. RNG going back and forth, of course, but we saw meta picks being as relevant as they always have been for the last 2 seasons here, and just great plays from, honestly, both of them. We had an awesome Game 5 match between FAINTMEMORY and Zefarious, but FAINTMEMORY really proving to be the stronger opponent here.
Yeah, Once in Love, thoughts on this matchup?
The whole set was incredible. It was great to see, another 5-set game. But on top of that, the drafts still varied between every single game. We saw the Ileana, we saw the Kashmir, or the Winryu. We also saw a Vanessa at the end. We saw a Juno. We saw a lot of things we haven't seen throughout the entire tournament. So to me, that's incredible. I love the variety and diversity in the draft.
Right, and even in that last game, you got to see both Ryus, but one of them was Winryu, Kashmir. One of them was Moore, and it was like, oh, this is interesting. Flexing exactly the type of unit that he had both times. So FAINTMEMORY finally able to get over the hump. What a day it's been, y'all. What an absolute banger of a day, both in the first matches and the qualifier matches. Let's take a look at the bracket one more time. The players booking their ticket to America's Cup, they can sit back, they can relax, they can practice, they can hide their drafts, and they can watch everyone else sweat it on out next Saturday. It's Shizzy and FAINTMEMORY booking their tickets as 2 of the 8 participants in America's Cup. Now, the players that dropped earlier in the day, looking at DanielKarioKa, DUSTIN, BigV, Jsss, and then, of course, TrueWhale and Zefarious, their journey is not over yet. They still can find their way to the America's Cup and ultimately to SWC2021 through the bottom side of the bracket, which will happen next week. But you know what? Saturday is only one day of the weekend, which means we got more action for you tomorrow, and this is the big side of the bracket. Let me tell y'all, this bracket is full of bangers, full of matches with anticipation, full of matches with experience and potential. Stoic is salivating right now. I'll get his opinion in a second after I run down it. Right off the top, you've got the former America's Cup champion, Dreams Joseph, representing Peru, up against Michael Yan. Then you got Topa V. He was there last year against Madreamd. Then you got Tiger against last year's America's Cup champion, J-Mac, and then Thompson. You might have heard of him before, also an America's Cup previous champion, up against Ferris, which is one of Once in Love's favorite guys. So now, guys, I turn to you. Stoic, which one of these matchups are you most excited about?
Really putting me on the spot here. There's just so many matches in here that are, like you said, absolute bangers. It's just nothing but champions across this board. We've got newcomers like Ferris. We've got newcomers like Madreamd. And I don't know too much about Madreamd, but what I can tell you about Ferris is he's a very intelligent player, known for great artifacts and great rune quality as well. I think the only thing that Ferris has to worry about is unit depth, because we've got a lot of people in here that don't worry about that. And that's why a lot of these people here are champions. So it's going to be a very exciting day tomorrow. I look forward to every one of these matches, to be honest with you. I really couldn't pick one.
Once in Love, how about you, brother?
So I know we talked about the Ferdas match. Obviously, he's one of my best friends, but the match that I'm actually most interested in is Tiger versus J-Mac, both Canadians, as well as Tiger was the champion of the America's Cup New York back in 2017. So, this really is the bracket of champions all across the board.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a day tomorrow, especially given the fact that today's matches were so damn good. I had so much fun watching this one. We hope you all at home did. For the first day of the preliminaries, we got day number 2. 2 more tickets will be punched to the America's Cup. And then, of course, next Saturday will be the final chance. 4 more players will be punching their ticket to the America's Cup to give us a total of 8 participants trying to represent America in the SWC 2021 World Championship. All right, y'all. It's been a long day, multiple streams. We appreciate all of you. And so to show that, we got yourself a little coupon right here. Bam. Let's run it. It's right there. All right, mods, put it in the chat because we know y'all been a little busy there. Let's see it. See you again, TMW. See you again tomorrow. So see you, just the letter U. Again, that's spelled normally. TMW. Get yourself 2 mystical scrolls. And like me, you can pull Masha. I pulled Masha yesterday. So you guys can pull Masha. It's doable. I promise it's doable. All right, y'all. It has been one heck of a day. We've got, actually, more action down the line for you as we give a quick shout out to a tournament for Los Centuria. They told me to say this, so I'm saying it with gusto. It's showtime. It's the World Showdown for Summoner's War Los Centuria. That'll be August 7th at 8 p.m. Pacific Coast time. It'll be an event match, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. We know that Los Centuria, flipping through the cards, getting the combos down. We know that you get your bonuses by linking your account, so make sure you play both those games. We'll catch you tomorrow for more Summoners War action. On behalf of myself, the casters, come to us and the entire live broadcast crew here at SWC 2021. We thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow for more fantastic action of the America's Cup preliminaries. See ya.